Sam de la Torre. Hey, Sam, how are you?
How you doing, Phil?
I don't know, man. I've had a rough week.
Back from the deep, huh?
Telling you. I made it, though. I think I'm good. I think I can last for an hour here, maybe longer. Who knows, man?
You're like a rock car they bring up too fast, you know?
My eyes are like bulgy now. Man, let me tell you, that was a rough one.
Yeah, sounds like it.
So anyway, I'm in the middle of, folks, I went to the emergency room on Thursday and got out of the hospital. When did I get out? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. And I can't even remember. And so anyway, the prognosis is not that bad. I thought it could be worse. It sounds like it's okay. Although there's this little sack of fluid sitting on top of a hernia that I had done in China. The guy said, hey, your Chinese guys did good, man. You're looking good there. So I said, okay, well, that's a relief. So anyway, at some point in time, I've got to get that, and I'm in an HMO, right? So you got to get your doctor now to refer you, and this all takes more time than you'd like. But, hey, it is what it is. So enough of this nonsense. Sam, Tackle Shop Confessions. We're going to talk about the PCS show and what you're doing there. That's exciting. There were yellowtail caught at the Coronado Islands. That's exciting. More bluefin down the Baja coast. That's good stuff. Somebody asked about white sea bass in the Channel Islands. A private boater had a big score. We talked about it. Worm King, and I posted the photos the very next day. We've got that going on. We've got sheephead season and a derby going on here. Rockcod is going to open up April 1st. There's just way too much to talk about. I'm excited about it all.
Yeah, I kind of like that. You know, these guys have been doing it for a few years now, I think, with the different kind of little derbies, fishing contest stuff on the local boats. And it looks like this year really was like a good year. Like people were really on it. You know, I think in general, guys were wanting to get back on the water. And good for those guys, too, getting out of their winter maintenance, you know, wanting to get back on the water. They created a situation. And man, have they scored, right? All that halibut's been crazy. I mean, bass is biting really good. And I'm sure it's maybe a change in the water, but those guys are just putting in the effort and results are there.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. I mean, there's two ways to approach fishing as a business if you're a guy, and that's to say, well, let's just wait for them to bite.
Yeah. Well,
you know, if they bite, the people will come. If they don't bite, nothing's going to, you know, that.
Or you just show them the people aren't there, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, make them there.
Or, hey, let's think about doing some kind of an attractive derby that will bring people, whether or not they're biting or not. It'll be fun. People can win prizes, and look what's happening.
Yeah. And that's not even, I don't think the prizes so much that they've created a little bit of effort into trying to make something that's time of the year where it isn't maybe as enjoyable or as inviting. You know, usually it's a rockfish time of year where guys will go rock fishing, but it's still closed. You know, I think guys just want to get out, and it just kind of just goes to show, you know, how healthy our fishing is, our population of not only the fish, but even our fishermen too. So that's great to see that that's something that's working out for those guys.
Yeah, and Sam, you know, actually, some of these winter time days, obviously we have storms and that kind of stuff, but when you get that beautiful, clear, sunny, almost warm day, it's like 65, 67 degrees, some of those days are more beautiful than any summertime day.
Sometimes, yeah. It seems like you can see forever, you know?
Right
past Catalina to the Santa Barbara, and you start seeing those outside islands. It's a pretty coastline, really, you know, when you can see it.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah,
this time of year, you get more of those days, I think.
You look in and see the snow-capped mountains. It's really beautiful. We're really blessed there.
Romantic.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about you when I was there in the hospital. Yeah, I really was.
Life flashing before your eyes there.
Especially
I was the one in your sights, huh?
I was. Yeah, because my wife came in there and she said, starts looking around and says, who brought you that coffee?
Yeah.
She didn't want me drinking coffee. Filipito, your son. Yeah, leave it alone. Don't touch my damn coffee. All right, hey, great to be with you here on Tackle Shop Confessions. Sam and I will be answering your questions. You have any technical questions about gear? Sam, there's nobody better than Sam, even though he's too humble to say it. I will say it. And Island Fishing Tqckle is just one of the greatest stores you can ever imagine, with huge inventory and great staff who are here to help you. Not bad after being in the hospital, huh? It sounded pretty good.
Yeah, sounded good.
And of course, we've already got a ton of questions, and that's the whole purpose of Tackle Shop Confessions, to get your input and answer your questions. You want to start with the questions?
Yeah, let's get caught up a little bit.
And then what we'll do is we'll talk a little bit about all those derby opportunities for you here in this month, and we'll also talk about the hot fishing. A lot of guys, I hear it all the time, please, on Tackle Shop Confessions, give us an update on the fishing, too. They really enjoy that. So
Yeah.
we'll get into those yellows at the Coronado Islands, that bluefin tuna down the Baja coast, and everything else. Cue ball, where's our Channel Islands white sea bass at? It's about time, fellas. You know, cue ball and that guy, a private boater, he had a deck full of sea bass. All those fish were caught on Worm King lures. Really great fishing. What's going on here?
Well, the camera's in the way.
Oh, man,
We're
Matt.
still working here,
Matt did a great job.
Yeah.
We should film these poor guys. Everybody down here is loading the truck right now for the PCS show. So,
of course, we could have moved back 2 feet and made their job a little bit easier.
Should we do that?
I think so.
Okay, let's do that. All right, so we got to grab the trash can at the same time.
Yeah, because they're going to be going right by there.
Oh, we got an executive producer out here tonight. That should work, Dan. Good job, Dan. Dan Limon is here tonight. No, actually, it's Dan Lightfoot.
Yeah.
And no Michael Limon. So, hey.
Michael, yeah, a little under the weather, I guess, right?
A little under the weather, so I know all about that. Cue ball, there was been some private butter catches up there. It's looking better all the time. I'm sure somebody like Tucker or somebody like one of the Ventura guys or the Aloha Spirit, or there's any number of great boats up there, are going to get a hit in on that fish. So hang on, everybody. It should start to rock and roll here very, very soon. As Sam does a little bit more housekeeping. Ruben Castaneda. Ruben, it's good to see you, my friend. He says, good evening, Sam and Phil. Always good to see you. Rob S. Phil, glad to see you back and hoping the best for diagnosis and recovery. Rob, thank you so very, very much. If I burp a few times tonight, please forgive me. Robert Graber, Avalon. You up here in the 805 tool?
Maybe.
Okay. You get that?
In the 805 tool, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, Robert.
LabWorks. Hello, everyone. Hey, I was talking to Paul a moment ago. Paul's in Australia. It's always good to see you. And the word is that Paul might be visiting in late May here.
Sounds
in
cool,
SoCal from Australia. We're definitely going to get together.
He's going to come get you, go back to Australia?
I would love that,
That'd
man.
be awesome, huh?
Yeah, I'd like to, you and I go over there and catch one of those 80-pound yellows off the rocks.
When in May?
Woo. I don't know. Fill us in, Paul. Let us know. Dan Smith, who is an exceptional human being. Hello, Phil, Sam, and all you great folks watching. Great to see you, Dan. LabWorks, Phil and Sam, good day. Blue Skies, hello, LabWork. Rob S. Phil, you mentioned head on shrimp for sheep's head. And it doesn't matter what color, red or white. Have Fish Market that sells heads on full shrimp, but have white and red. Well, my advice, and I'll let Sam chime in, but my advice would be get half and half and see what works best.
I think
they both work.
I think they probably both work. I've seen the guys use the red ones, but I don't know if because they work better or they're cheaper or what. But I wouldn't think it would matter. But that's a good question, yeah.
It'd be cool to do a little experiment, right?
I'd probably go with the red, I think.
Bait 2 hooks, one with the red, one with the white.
There you go.
See what happens.
Sabiki with 10 of them, like how you did for the surf.
Yeah,
that's right.
Oh, wait a minute. You're going to get me. He's joking, everybody. You know, we're doing our Department of Fish and Wildlife show here one of these days. Don't get me in trouble with these people.
Did you ever ask that question on the morning briefing about questions guys would ask that you could ask live?
Of course I did.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I put out a feeler to the Department of Fish and Wildlife today.
All right.
Not fooling around here. And the question number 1 was Dan Lightfoot violating the law when he was using a 20-hook sabiki rib on the beach the other day surf fishing?
Well, it's good to know.
Yeah,
he's been doing that for years now. You know, he's been going under the radar.
That's why you go out there some days and you go like, where the hell did the perch go?
Well, the last thing you want to do is not, help the guy out. If you could have helped him out by letting him know it was against the law.
Right,
that's
well.
what you want to do.
Hey, I was busy with the kids. It's all about the kids.
It's all about the kids.
Yeah, it's the kids. The children.
That's what
So if some schmuck like Dan Lightfoot's going to do that, what am I going to do?
At least let him know.
Okay. Dan, stop that. Scott Boucher, the Pacific Voyager, went to the Coronado Islands a couple of days ago and caught some nice, good, great yellowtail. I think good grade yellowtail.
Yeah.
The yellows that have been wandering around, ladies and gentlemen, have all been nice fish. Down in San Quintin, we've seen it. Then Sam, we saw it around Santo Tomas. Friedman Adventures broke that story as Louis Prieto from It's For Real Sport Fishing out of Ensenada, rolled up on a bird school of yellows, fired an iron on it, took a wind, hooked the fish. Am I getting out of control a little bit?
I'm enjoying it.
Hooked the fish and caught a bunch of fish, yellow. So we've seen that yellow go from there to Santo Tomas. Then we saw our friend from SD Fish and Sips. He had them on a kayak up there off La Jolla, and now the Coronado Islands. This is early. I don't care what you say. It's a little early. It's,
For what?
For yellows showing up in February, March, a little bit early. Man, I smell those longfin. I know they're coming. I can feel it. It's going to be a May hit on albies this year.
Why are you so afraid to say it, though?
May hit on albacore. I'm going to delve into this a little bit more. Steve Nyes is laughing at me. Go ahead, laugh, Steve. He's belly laughing, actually. And I'm going to do some research. Actually, I'm thinking about an albacore update tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah, if I survive tonight without any hernias or any bags of liquid blowing up or whatever.
Yeah.
And just to celebrate my weak stomach, I'm drinking coffee tonight. Sam said that was a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Sound like my wife. Give me a break, my God.
I take that as a compliment. Taking care of you. Man.
Rutita. All right, let's see. Labworks. Any size to the yellow. So in terms of Australia size yellowtail, no. California yellowtail, yeah. I mean, like 18 to, I want to say 28, 32 pounds, like that.
That's big for
Those are nice fish.
I mean, a Coronado fish usually is in the 10 to 15 pound range. You know, it's pretty average down there. You do get some nice ones once in a while, but man, if they're getting a 25, 30 pounder, that's
well,
a toad for
I honestly don't know what the Voyager had, but I just know the grade of fish that's been at San Quintin, Santo Tomas, Ensenada, and that La Jolla fish.
Ones.
Yeah, those were big. So I'm assuming, and Scott says good grade yellowtail. So Scott, perhaps you could elaborate on that. Now, hey Scott, I just want to send you my love tonight and tell you I hope all your teams are losing tonight. So there you are. Albert Ponce says, good evening, fellas. And Albert, it is always great to see you and the kids. Hey, kids, hope you're doing well. Robert Graber, should have been cue ball, not Avalon. Stinking autocorrect. Gotcha. All right, you may have a few coughs like that tonight. I'm doing my best. Dave Clark. Hey, Dave, good to see you. Glad you're feeling better. Phil, good evening to you both. Dave, thank you so much. Good to see you. Scott Butchert retracted a message. God only knows what that could have been about. Travis Bright. Hey, Trav, what is happening? I hope you're going to fish with us on a few trips this year. If not, we'll get together some other way, surf fishing or whatever. Sam, will you have any Phoenix Megalodon rods at the PCS show?
100%, yeah. 607, 608, 609 for sure. I don't know if we have any other shorter ones. But the 6-footers for sure, we got them coming. We have them here, actually, taking them. In fact, I think we've got quite a few of all of them, from what I remember. We also have the blanks. We just got a whole bunch of the 608s in, which kind of last year was the hot blank for a lot of guys. We also have some of the 609s as well. So, but yeah, so we got a pretty good selection of that stuff.
All right, sounds good. Scott Buchert says 1028. Scott, it's 10-4, okay? Oh, no, he's talking about the size of the yellows on the Pacific Voyager. 1028, they look in the picture. There you are. Labworks says 10 pounds to 28 pounds, question mark. And I say yes, that's what Scott is saying, definitely. Robert Graber says, happy Monday. Phil, Sam, glad you are doing better. Phil, Godspeed. Robert, thank you so very much. Who says I'm doing better? I'm just a good faker.
Because I think he's got school tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much, Robert. I really appreciate it. Scott Buchert, the RP is on their eco trip, an 8-day trip. Didn't you want to know that?
Yeah.
The Royal Polaris is going down to the warm water lagoons of, you're mic'd up, right?
I know, but I'm checking on my phone.
Oh, no problem.
I'm all right. I understand.
I thought you were going to make a phone call.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Okay. I got it. Thank you.
I'm a little loopy, Sam.
Are you?
Yeah, more than normal. You know what I mean? Normally, I know I'm screwy, so. Anyway, cue ball. Everybody, Sam, Phil, gentlemen. Christopher Navarro, on my way, Phil and Sam, I am.
Uh-oh. Prime rib.
Here we go. Prime rib, man. Here we go. Dad, you're going to be able to eat like a king tonight. I think it's tri-tip.
Or tri-tip.
I'm going to have to take some home with me because I don't know if I should eat this light, to be honest with you. I will be very tempted, however.
Won't be any left for you.
Hey, keep your filthy fingers off my tri-tip, whatever you do. Ernie Montano. Ernie, all my love to you, my friend. Sam and Phil, thanks for all these awesome tackle shop confessions podcast. Phil, welcome back from your visit to the 5-star stay at the local resort. Yes, that was quite a nice time I had there. Had all kinds of crazy people up there around me, including my son Philip, and Dan came up. A whole bunch of other people came up, so it was good. Dan, if my wife is listening, she doesn't listen because none of this is in Spanish. But I was going to tell you, sweetheart, he brought me the coffee. It's his fault, not mine. Him and Philip.
I'll catch him within a second.
Yeah, no problem. All right, what do we got here? Scott Bouchard is back again. The tribute, not going to Collinette. Now in the month of March, they are going offshore for bluefin tuna and yellowtail. No passport required. Scott, that is great. The only question I have for you, Scott, is how many yellowtail? Can you fill me in on how many forkies they had on that trip? We know they were 10 to 28 pounds. And we know now that the Voyager's going offshore for bluefin tuna. Incidentally, everybody, this is a nice way for me to segue into, for one moment here, April the 4th through the 9th, 5 days on the Independence. It is setting up beautifully. You know, that's a little bit early in the year, but not this year. It is accelerated. Everything is moving quick. We've got yellows. We've got bluefin. Another month from now, and it's going to be downright insane. At least that's what I'm thinking. And 5 days gives you all kinds of options. You can cover a lot of ground. We leave at 10 a.m. Probably be on that bluefin the very first night. It should be an exceptional trip. And if you'd like to join Friedman Adventures, April 4th through the 9th. My son Philip's birthday is the 9th. We're going to be celebrating that on board because he's going to be there. Incidentally, if you watch the morning briefing, you saw his gender reveal party, and that is great stuff. He's going to have a boy. My other son, Patrick, is going to have a boy, Patrick, in July, and Philip in August. But remember, you can book that trip by going to independentsportfishing.com or give the Independence office a call. Emmanuel Navedo, good evening from Florida. Hope everybody has a blessed day. Emmanuel, gracias. Gusto verte. It's really good to see you, my friend. Jaime Fernandez Jr., happy to see you, Phil and Sam. Happy you are in better health. Phil, we need you more than you know. That is so kind of you. It makes me get up every morning and go out and do the morning briefing. Sincerely, I want to thank everybody out there on Facebook alone. There were 1,000, like 1,200, 1,300 reactions to the fact that I was sick. Well, some of those reactions said, I hope you die. But most of them were pretty positive. So I want to thank everybody who chimed in there. I really, really appreciate it. Robert Slager, Sam, how do you make the connection from braid to mono when you go long range? And Sam is over there doing something right now, Robert. I'll come back to that question, I promise you, in just a second. Croom Dog here. Hey, Sam and Phil. Croom Dog, good to see you. I need a newbie budget bang for your buck rod and reel for bluefin tuna. What do you recommend? Are you back?
I'm back.
All right. So let's go back to Robert Slager first. Robert wants to know, how do you make the connection from braid to mono when you go long range, Sam? Did we do a video on that?
I don't know. I mean, we might have. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But, well, it really depends on the size line you're using. I mean, tried and true stuff like your RP knot or your Albright knot. That's something that it's pretty common. Tony Pena, a lot of the long range boats use that to connect stuff. I know some of the guys do that FG knot. The FG knot's been a pretty popular one. Personally, myself on the bigger gear, when I'm long range fishing, typically, even from like 40-pound test, even as low as 40, but definitely when I go into that 50, 60, 80, 100 pound, I'm doing mostly hollow connections. And last year I even was trying some of the wind-ons from AFCO. Just kind of wanted to try them out and just kind of see how they went through the guides, and I actually had some really good success.
Really?
With them. So to me, that's another good way. If you're not too keen on doing some of those connections, is making a loop at the end of your line isn't too hard. Or if you come into a tackle shop, typically we can do that pretty quick, and then you're set up. And also even most of the crew members on the long range boats will be able to set you up with a loop there as well, and then you just connect the two loops. That's pretty easy to do. So I think Brian Wynn had done some videos on that. I don't know if it was with you or somebody else, but
Well, of course it was with me. Who else would he do it with?
but I think I remember him doing. I think actually it was on his own Instagram page.
What a jerk.
I think he had done that.
Brian, I'm kidding. You know.
He had worn out "You're welcome."
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Not doing any more loops with that idiot, Phil Frieman.
He's too loopy already. Yeah. But yeah, so that's another one we're also using too. So there's different ways to do it, and I think the bigger you go, that's when you really start getting into the hollow type connections. Typically, guys at around maybe 60-pound test is when they start getting into those hollow connections. But, you know, like I said, those other knots, especially that Tony Pena and the FG knot, tried and true on a lot of the long-range boats. They've been doing them for years and years. So those would be two, if you want to learn something, that maybe two that I would...
All right, got another question for you. But first, I just want to make the comment. You mentioned the coffee. I've started drinking this coffee, and damn, I'm starting to feel good.
Really?
Oh, it's flushing everything right through. Woo. I'm feeling energetic.
Is it like decaf or?
Hell no, man. It's fueled up, baby. We're going to rock and roll here tonight till midnight. This guy, Kroomskar, needs I think, reading this, he's looking for a budget rod and reel for bluefin tuna.
Okay.
What would you suggest?
Well, I mean...
And will you have it at the PCS show?
Yeah, definitely. You know, the PCS show, as far as deals are concerned, and budget, you know, that's going to be where you get your best deal, no matter what price level you're looking at. So whether you're looking at your entry-level stuff or your high-end stuff, you're definitely going to find your best deal there, no doubt about it. So I would recommend going down there and picking something like that up there. As far as what to buy specifically, you know, you can get into those fathoms. That's still probably your best budget reel on something that you can considerably call a budget. You know, that's going to be your cheapest that you can get away with.
What are we talking about, price-wise?
On the reels, you're like around $330 to $350 regular price, so it'll be discounted from that.
High 200s maybe, or something like that at the show?
Something like that, but that's not even the biggest discount of the deal. The biggest deal is that any reel that you buy at the show that is $50 or more, you get 500 yards of line for free. So that's really where your big discount is. So you buy that reel, and let's say the reel is, after a discount, $300, whatever it is. You know, you're going to get about $100 line for free.
Wow, that's such a great deal.
That's going to be the big deal.
So that is for sure. That's the deal.
That's 100%. That's for every reel. So whether the reel costs you, you know, $150 or $1,050, it's the same amount of line. You get up to 500 yards. So in this case, for you, being as a return on investment, so to speak, that's going to be your biggest return because of the amount of line you're going to get on there. So that's going to be the big deal. As far as the rod to go with it, there's going to be a variety of rods that are going to be a good deal. You know, anything from those Phoenix rods, those Graphtec rods, which have been a great seller. Those are probably, you can't beat the price on those for the performance. And there's other stuff. Even Penn makes a nice rod and things like that too. So one of the things you also want to look at and kind of weigh the options is that some of the other manufacturers are also giving some type of free gift with the purchase. So sometimes those gifts are not worth very much. You might be a hat and a sticker, and sometimes they're worth a lot. You might get, you know, a nice jacket or whatever. So, you know, check out those free goods with purchase. So that's another thing to look at too. But so yeah, that's where you want to start.
It sounds like, you got to go to the show, man. And if you're looking for a deal, this is the last shot this year, right? Pretty much.
Yeah. And a lot of it isn't that we're not going to give you a deal after the show. I mean, because we're going to get it all week. You know, well, how long can I get these deals? That's going to be the first thing someone asks when we do the show next Monday, right? Is how long, you know, I can give you a discount on the reel all day long, but that line is being given from another manufacturer.
Right.
So
that's Berkeley, right? You said?
Yeah. So Berkeley is the one that's doing that deal. So, you know, that's going to be your big savings. You know, especially on a reel that costs that much. You know, that's going to be up to a third of the price of the reel. And so, yeah, that's your biggest deal. Another reel you guys might want to look at too is the Okuma Alejos and Okuma Kavala. And they come in a 12 and a 16 for the Alejos, and then a 12 on the Kavala. You know, that would handle some of your smaller to medium sized tuna. But that Alejo 16, that'll handle a big tuna as well. It's going to cost a little bit more. That ones are, I think, in that $400 range or something like that after a discount. So there's a few different choices, but there's probably no better than that. Also another one too, I'm just looking at here in the case, is the Speedmaster from Shimano. So
good price?
Yeah, same thing, about $350. You get a discount on it. And then in that case, with that one, you get Power Pro filled up to the top there. So that's going to be their deal on that too. So that's the main deal. You come down to the show, you're still going to spend $500 or so, $600, depending on what you get, you know, after it's all said and done. But that being said, rod and reel and line, That's pretty dang good. It's about $250 savings or so after
That's great.
It's all said and done.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Pretty good deal.
Over 3,000 people watched last week's Tackle Shop Confessions. Over 100 people watching right now, Sam. So we thank everybody out there who's been so supportive of Friedman Adventures, but this show in particular, because this show's a lot of fun to do. Both Sam and I, we'll go out and eat afterwards, and we both look at each other and say, you know, we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't fun. And it's a lot of fun, man. So we thank you all for tuning in. Ricky Hamada. Hey, Ricky, hope you're doing well. With deeper water for rockfish, what are your thoughts about
the Piscifun Kraken electric reel?
Yes, thank you very much. Very good. The Piscifun Kraken electric reel.
Yeah, you know.
Pick it up at Island Fishing Tqckle.
No.
Oh,
so
sorry.
that Piscifun brand, you know.
Piscifun.
Yeah.
Watch how you say that.
That's what it says. Yeah.
Man, Piscifun. Who came up with that freaking name?
Yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of like a Amazon brand, so to speak. You know, so. You know, I don't think there's any kind of local support for them parts, things like that. You know, when you're talking about an electric reel, I mean, yeah, it probably would work okay, but honestly, without having any type of support for them, if you have any kind of issue with that reel, I'm sure it's going to be a little bit more complicated to get that thing serviced or worked on or parts, things like that. But one of the things that Piscifun is known for is being like a low-cost thing. So, you know, we've gotten some of the reels in here that people have bought, and they're generally of a lower quality.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of plastic parts and things like that. Although an electric reel, I mean, can't have, you know, you got to have some electronics in there. So I'm sure that there's some technology in it. But that's going to be the other part. So, you know, these electric reels, right? So that's a part of the conversation for rock cod fishing. There really isn't an American distributed reel that is cheap. You know, this kind of leaves the door open for guys that are buying a Daiwa or Shimano from like Japan or something like that. And one of the things that you guys should know is that, you know, if there isn't a local distributorship for it, typically parts and service is going to be something that is going to be a little harder to deal with. And so, especially with an item like that has so many moving parts, you know, you want to be a little bit weary about that. But on the other hand, it's understandable. I mean, you know, the Daiwa reel, the 750 Tqckle, which is kind of like the most affordable one that is traded here, you know, and distributed in the U.S. is $700. You know, and I don't know the price of that Piscifun reel, but I would guarantee you it's, you know, less than that. I mean, by a couple $100 at least. So that being said, it's understandable why someone would look for some options. $700 isn't exactly, you know, something that would be considered a starter reel, but that's in that category for something that you can buy at any tackle shop. Southern California, that's the entry level reel. So it is kind of expensive, and that doesn't come with the battery. You got to buy the batteries. By the time it's all said and done with line and everything like that, it might be $1,000 reel, you know. So it is expensive, but you know, this deep water fishing is going to be something that, you know, for some guys is just not even no fun, you know, without it. You know, it's just cranking something up from 600-700 feet.
Well, I like doing that, but most people do not.
For normal people, yes.
You nailed that right.
But yeah, but you know, some guys like it. But yeah, it's part of the conversation now.
You know, with this current illness, I've been going to the bathroom once in a while. I don't want to get into, but I go to the bathroom because I have to. But before, I used to go to the bathroom for Piscifun. You know, I'm going to write this guy's marketing thing. I'm going to sell so many of these things. Piscifun. I like it. All right. Celso Ayala, saludos amigos, saludos hermano. He's from Southgate, California. Bud Frillo was an old sportscaster who was from Southgate, California. I did a lot of shows with Bud and another guy named, I can't remember. Anyway, he became a real famous sportscaster, and you know, here I am with Sam tonight. I don't know what happened in my life. Too much Piscifun, I think. Anyway, Celso says saludos.
Saludos.
Okay, perfecto. Habla español con este pobrecito. Current Jam. I love Current Jam. Haven't seen them for a while. They do such great videos. The one in Loreto was exceptional. Hi, everyone. Phil, glad to see you up, my friend. I'm doing good, right, Sam?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Sam to cut my legs out from under me and make me break into
I thought
tears.
I was going to take a week off, and yesterday he's like, you want to do it again?
I'm calling him from ER.
Sure, yeah.
I'm like, hey, they're letting me out. Are you ready for Tackle Shop Confessions?
Let's do it.
Meanwhile, people are saying, take it easy. Don't work anymore.
Yeah.
Take a week off. I'm like, no, I'm back at it.
This is what he calls work.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what Ruth was even saying. My wife was like, hey, I go, I'm going to go down there and sit next to Sam and talk to him.
Yeah.
Come on. I can do that. I can pull that one off. All right, Hal Cooksey. Howdy, guys. Good to see you back in the saddle. Phil, Hal, it's great to see you. Sam, what's a good 80-pound rod that won't break the bank? Thank you, Hal.
Yeah, so it depends on the size of your bank, I guess. But, once again, those Graphtec rods, you just can't beat them. For the price, they are the lowest priced rod on the market that is still considered a decent rod. But there's a lot of stuff out there. We just got in the new Terramar rods from Shimano. We're going to have them there on sale there at the show. And we got them all the way up to like a 100-pound rod, rail rod. I know they're going to be more than the Graphtec rod, but you got that Shimano name behind them. They're pretty nice rods, actually. I wish I had one here I could show you, but we already put them in the truck for the show. So that's a nice one too. You can look at also the Daiwa rod. They have a rail rod that's really nice. A lot of guys like that one. It's kind of almost more like a 100-pound rod. But one of the things about that Daiwa rod is got a super heavy-duty foregrip. Rail rod, true, almost like a custom rod type foregrip. So that's something that if you're looking for something like that, they got the toughest on the market there. And then you'll start looking at some of the other stuff out there. There's some little off-brand stuff that also works good. But that's probably where I would start.
All right, very good. Nice question, Hal. Excellent stuff. Hit that like button, everybody, right now. Just hit that like button. Subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. We appreciate that. 110 people watching the show right now. Sam, we appreciate all of you. Robert wants to know, are we giving away any PCS tickets tonight? Robert, I kind of didn't get that together because I was dying in the ER for the last week.
Wimp.
But I know. What can I tell you? So I'm so sorry. I don't have any tonight.
We'll see.
Yeah, maybe Sam will come up with something. I limped over from, why, do you have some extra tickets we're going to give away?
Not right now, but maybe you can give them away at the thing there,
Yeah, right. MJJ, need some extra hands for the PCS show, Sam? I'll work for tackle.
Yeah, maybe.
There you are, MJJ.
I'm a little bit late here to get coordinated, but we are going to be working there pretty hard, so we'll see.
All right, there you go. Just stop by Sam's and, tell him that you love him and you watch Tackle Shop Confessions. Hit him. I want an autograph.
If
all
you
that
can
stuff.
guess the time that he's going to be there and keep him out of our booth, I'll pay you double.
I might be back in the emergency room with this kind of talk.
Well, you going to cut out his work, this guy here?
Oh, sorry,
Trying
MJJ.
to make
No,
a buck, yeah?
I'll meet you there and make sure that you get a job.
Yeah.
You may be working the trout pond, but we're going to tell you. Rob S., going to the Catalina 50-50 fishing and lobster hooping on the Triton. This is really good stuff, man. I will do that experiment. I'll bait half red and half white, and I'll give you an update.
That's
Rob,
cool.
That is cool. And you're going to have a lot of fun. Those guys do a really great job. Bob Gifford went on that with another kid. That,
recently?
Yeah, well, it's been a while, but he went with Nick Acosta. And both those guys I went to grammar school with at Nativity, so I've known them for 60 years. And Bob goes, man, we caught all these whitefish and had so much fun, and then got lobster and blue perch and blah, blah, blah. They really had a great time. So hoping the same for you, Rob. And that experiment, take notes on that. We definitely want to know what works better. And, of course, if every drop you're catching a sheep's head on the white one, you better bait both hooks with the white. But it'd be great to see if it makes any difference at all. Current Jam. Sam, will you bring the special edition Mad Max? I'll see you early on Thursday, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna have they're gonna give us so many a day, and that's what we're getting.
All right, good stuff. I apologize for coughing in my mic, everybody, but it is what it is here tonight. I'm very, very apologetic about that. Cue ball, La Nina year, colder water. Phil will get his long fins this year. Quote me.
He jumped you. See, he jumped you on the prediction.
No, we're working in tandem.
Now what are you going to predict now?
This is the Friedman Adventure family member.
You wait, and
don't mess with cue ball.
No,
he's
messing
a nice
with you.
man.
Everyone's tired of waiting.
That's why I'm thinking this is going to be, but it's a little more enigmatic, mysterious. because we have an El Nino now, and it's going
Yeah.
to transition into a La Nina. So it's a little weird.
What time is that going to happen?
Nobody knows for sure, but it's either late spring or summer.
Of this year or next year?
This year. This is what they're saying, but they're very.
Yeah.
What
are you saying?
I am saying cue ball is right. I agree. We're going to have, like in April, when we're on that 5-day trip, baby, we're going to have like 63.5 degree water. The water temperature.
That's the magic temperature, huh?
That Frank Lopresti, when I was in the wheelhouse of the searcher, I was like 15 years old, and he said, kid, get your filthy hands off my dad. No, he said, that water temp right there, 63.5, is what we love, man. That's it right there. And then I
went up there 20 minutes later and it was 64.5, and he told me the same
jig's
thing.
dry. Yeah, it was
He's
wide
like,
open.
64.5, that's the temperature we're looking for. I said, oh, thanks, Frank.
Yes, cue ball, I agree with you, and don't take Sam seriously. I won't let him make fun of you anymore. All right, I kind of screwed up here.
Jaime Fernandez.
Boy, there's a lot of freaking comments here tonight, isn't there?
Yeah, a whole bunch.
Yeah, we love it. Keep it coming. What's a good deckhand style rod for a Penn Fathom 25 NLD2 with 65-pound braid and a top shot of 30
Dan.
and 40-pound fluoro? Dan,
Hey,
you
Dan.
need a key.
So there's deckhand rods there. I mean, you can't go wrong with a, CalStar 6480, 278H, something like that. We're going to have those there at the show. They're on sale. Probably one of the classic rods for that. I actually fished that 278H CalStar for a lot of years growing up. I probably caught more yellowtail on that rod in my formative fishing years than any other rod. So you might want to check that one out. That one, the 6480, would be two really, really nice rods, CalStar glass rods, and they're a good deal too. So it just depends on kind of what you're after, but those would be two that I'd look at for sure.
The great Chris Navarro has shown up with a bag full of tri-tip, Sam.
Shoo!
The carnivore diet. A jig?
It's rigged for you.
Oh, I love it. Look at that. That is perfect. I love it, man. I'm going to try that. Somebody. That's a birthday present for my son, Philip. Is that okay with you? Perfect. I love it. Is that heavy enough?
Yeah, you catch something on there.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
It's 160. I weighed it before.
Oh, you weighed it 160 gram.
Oh, there you go.
Perfect. If you open it up, it has different swimming action there.
Oh, I love it.
You gonna adjust the action?
Yeah, just the action.
Chris,
there, yeah.
you're number one. Not only shows up with tri-tip, but an extra special jig for my son, Philip. Thank you, Chris. We got to get you to walk over and show
You
the
can put some
tri-tip.
shrimp on it, or?
Yeah, red and white.
yeah.
Yes, red, white, and blue. Actually,
there
I'm
you
very
go.
patriotic. Tim Marquez, you know Tim, right?
Yeah, where's
one
he
of the
at?
greatest guys in the
Gonna be
world. A Best Income Tax 310-892-3503. A Best Income Tax. Dan is wearing a shirt here tonight,
Oh, yeah.
so there you go. Tim says, "What's up, guys?" And Daniel, good to see you back, Phil. I was going to bring you some bacon jerky, but I'm tied up with work. Oh, you're just teasing me, huh, Tim?
You can't have any of that bacon jerky.
Oh, yes, I can.
You bring it down, I'll take care of it. Yeah.
Tim, I've talked to Sam, and we're going to go till midnight tonight. So
Yeah, we'll
drop
wait.
on by
Yeah.
later.
Where does he live? Maybe we'll pass by on the way home.
He's San Pedro, man.
Oh,
San
man.
Pedro. Thank you, Tim. That would be, hey, don't worry about it. I'm just messing with you. All right, Mackie says, Sam, what weight Squid Trex lures would you recommend for the sea bass this year? Not next year. Not the year after that. This freaking year. This year. You got an El Nino going to a La Nina, and that's going to change the size that you're going to use. Why are you laughing at me? Man, this coffee's
I'm
good.
enjoying the
Man, that tri-tip is coming on, baby.
Like
Yes.
a wrestling match here,
I know.
WWF. man.
Sorry. I'm trying out for Joe Rogan's job at the
Yes, you
UFC.
So I'd look at that 110, probably that 110 to 130 size. That's where I would go to that. Now on these Squid Trex, like we showed you the other show there, you can actually add weight to them. So if you have something smaller like a 95 or something like that, you can always add weight. But I think that 110, 130 would probably be about the right size.
All right, perfect. Greg Bates, the elf,
Yes.
my dear friend.
How's he been?
He's been great because he was up there in that ER, or not ER, in my hospital room like the whole time. He kept coming up and spending time and sneaking me contraband. So I love Greg for doing that. But no, he spent a great deal of time up there, and I appreciate it. And helped get my car back because I drove myself to ER. And then my car was there, and I couldn't drive home because
They wouldn't let you?
yeah,
Yeah.
they thought I was a menace to society.
Yeah.
They were right.
You're right, yeah.
So he says, hey there, Sam and Phil. Dan, guys, keep an eye on Phil. Make sure he behaves himself. No overdoing it. Watching.
All right.
What am I going to overdo? I'm just sitting here talking.
You are overdoing it all the time.
You don't start. I don't know
100%.
why I'm getting the laugh so easy tonight. Robert Graber. Sam, will you have the 2023 leftovers? And actually, there's not going to be any leftovers. We're going to eat everything here tonight. And the new 2024 Mad Max at your booth.
Yeah, so we are bringing those down, so we'll have both of them at the show there. As far as what we're going to have from last year, I imagine they'll probably be gone the first couple hours. So if you're down there, hopefully you can get down there early and get one of those, because I know guys have been asking me about those quite a bit.
All right, Scott Buchert has pointed out that the Royal Polaris is on an 8-day trip. He's saying Cabrillo Beach trip on the Royal Polaris.
Awesome.
Wow, 8-day
Yeah.
trip up to San Pedro.
Way up here?
They just anchor and stay
Yeah,
there
by
for
the pier.
7 days, and then they go drive back?
The Tom Cod bite pretty
Hey,
good over
Scott, I'm sure the Royal Polaris is going to be very appreciative that you are promoting the fact that they run 100 miles up to San Pedro, anchor on an 8-day trip, and then just sit there and stare at the beach. That's great stuff, Scott.
Yeah.
What's he talking about?
I don't know. Well, maybe his dad will pay for it.
That's an inside joke, and we'll keep it just like that. Cue ball, the Wings Wars. Yes, laughing my A off. Tonight, it's the Tri-Tip Wars. And I'm in this thing where I shouldn't eat late because it screws me up.
You're not going to eat late. Don't worry about
I
that.
don't know, man.
You're not.
Tempted. I could take it home and have it for breakfast, or I could snack a little bit. Greg told you to watch me. Are you going to handcuff me or what?
I just won't give it to you.
All right. Johnny Torres. Hey, Johnny. It's good to see you, my friend. Sam and Phil, thanks for the great shows. Always, Johnny. We couldn't do it without you. Thanks for watching. 112 people watching right now. Dale Grobberger is a fantastic guy. Fished with him many times. This guy he's a gringo. He freaking gets on his bike, drives down to TJ, pedals all around, goes to Telefonica and has a beer. He's great.
He rides his bike from here all the way to TJ?
Not here. He lives in down by the border.
Oh,
so
right,
he goes down there and has a great time all the time.
Like,
He's definitely a Mexico-phile.
Okay.
He loves Mexico, and
Awesome.
so we always chat together. Glad you're feeling better. Fishing getting better. No time to be feeling sick.
Yeah, that's right.
That is true. Raul says, Phil, Sam, good evening. Sam, which rod is better as a rail rod, the Seeker WT2X4 or the UC Viper? I have both and thinking of selling one of those.
Well, that White Tiger 2x4, I mean, it's an awesome rod. You know, part of it because of its heritage, you know, it's really more of a collector rod than anything else, but it's a great rod too. That Viper has proven to be probably the most popular rail rod since it was created. So, you know, they're both really good. That Viper, especially if it's a 7'6" Viper, I would say that's probably the newer, more better technology, you know, type of rod. But that 2x4, I mean, you know, back to that, you know, that was the kind of first initial purpose-built rail rod that was built by Seeker. You know, when they first created that 2x4, you know, this was a White Tiger that he's talking about, but. So you got two cool rods there. You know, both of them designed by Randy Penny. And that 2x4, I remember when that thing was first created, we had it at the Fred Hall show. You know, brand new product, and even kind of a brand new category. You know, so you know, guys really didn't have rail rods. They had some rods that they were using in that capacity, but not something that was purpose built. We sold so many of those things.
Really?
We sold like 70 that year.
Wow.
At the show. And this is a rod that you can kind of only do one thing with.
Yeah.
And mind you, there was no bluefin back then, none of that. You had to go on a long-range trip to use them, and we sold so many, it was crazy. So just how that's kind of was the craze back then, you know, now that Viper is today. So I mean, you're looking at two great rods there. I think you really can't find, in my opinion, one better than the other. They're good for different reasons. Like I said, that White Tiger is a rod that a lot of people would like to have. If you're not going to use it and want to get rid of it, you won't have a problem selling it. That Viper would probably be the better one, though.
All right, Daniel says, hello, Daniel. Good to see you, my friend Steve Bermudez. Glad you're feeling better, Phil, because Scott was getting ready to take over the show. How'd you like to do the show with Scott?
It should be over, yeah.
Yeah, no, why? We'd have a good time. Scott Bouchard, man, he's the best. Eric Lykuya Hey, Sam, any recommendations for a left-handed reel for offshore fishing? Looking into the Torium 14 or 16, but also exploring higher-end options around that size. Thank you. Thank you very much, Eric.
Yeah, so I mean, one of the big things here that we were kind
The
of
Daiwa Lexa 500.
Yeah, exactly. That Daiwa Lexa, even in the 400 size, which would be kind of, in that Torium 14 size. The Toriums, they have a 16, 20, and a 30 that they make in left hand, and that's a great option. You also have the Fathoms in the 2-speeds lever drag. They offer those in the 15 through the 30 as well. So you get the 15 extra narrow, the 25 narrow, and then the 30. You can get those in left-handed for a 2-speed reel. Of course, the Accurates, that's going to be your higher-end option. Every single reel in their lineup they offer in the left hand, so that's something that you can look there. And then also Avid, they also offer those in the left hand. So you got quite a few choices in that kind of size range. So they're all good. I mean, as far as a recommendation, everything that's out there in left hand is generally, in that size, is generally a pretty good option. You might choose one or the other depending on the specific application, but all those ones that I just mentioned are all pretty dang good reels.
All right, good stuff. David Rosenthal says, good evening, fellas. Good to see you out of the hospital, Phil. At least there's one person out there that's happy to see me out.
That's one.
Dan Lightfoot sitting right here says, hit that like button. And we would appreciate it if you would do that. Over 3,000 people watched last week's show with Sam and I right here. And there's 110 people watching right now. So that's great stuff. Sam says, Joel, will you be taking any lefty reels to PCS?
Yeah, definitely. I know we just loaded those up today, and there was a bunch of left-handed reels in there too, and all the different ones that I just mentioned. Yeah.
Make sure you visit Sam at the PCS show. It's going to be great. And man, there's nobody. I mean, you think I'm going to joke or something, but there's nobody as good as you, man. You're the best. So
come on now.
Every once in a while, I've got to lay that in
You think
there.
that's going to make me lay off?
Butter
a little
you
bit?
up. Yeah,
No,
butter you
no,
up a little bit.
no. I know where you're headed with that one.
Halibut Man says,
Defense.
good to see you're doing better, Phil.
That's
Mitchell,
guys.
great to see you, my friend. Thanks for all your help down there on that surf fishing day we did the other day. We're going to have to do another one of those in about 2 weeks or so. Blue Sky, Sam, how about those rail plates for the rod for rock fishing? Do you have them? Is that still a thing?
Not really. Once in a while I get a guy asking for them.
Yeah, you got some?
Let me see. I know where we used to have them.
Hey, and if you need heating and air conditioning needs, it's Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning, 626-901-4822. John Lopez is a great sponsor. Ventura Sport Fishing, 805-676-3474. 20% off if you book online before April 1st and you put in preseason 20 at checkout.
So
Sam.
yeah, they still make them. This is actually the
Wow,
what
those
they
things
used to
are
call
tiny now.
Well, this is the jig plate size, the smaller one for the guys that would do that jigging back then.
Yeah.
But they do make the extra wide one, the old school one. So yeah, they still make them. I actually got one here, the big bicycle handle too. You put that on your 6.0 or something like that. A lot of guys don't really do that kind of attachment hardly anymore. Some guys still do, but with the modern reel not being so big these days, and Spectra, a lot of guys are using smaller reels, so it's not as big a factor with it kind of like rocking back and forth, but you still got them.
All right, good stuff, and excellent question, Blue Skies. I had no idea. Halibut Man says he bought a Japanese Tanacom on eBay for $115. Works great, and an incentive to learn Japanese.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who said that?
I must be hearing things. I think I'm getting. I'm hallucinating.
Yes.
Yes, Dan. Go ahead. What is that he's talking about? Ask Dan.
So I think he's talking about
I don't know.
a reel that he bought for $115. I imagine it's a electric reel. I'd get some more information as to what he got. I'm not sure what he got. So, it's...
You've tested Sam's limits.
Well, it's like saying last week I bought a car, and you want
Be
me
nice to Mitchell. He's a very nice guy.
Well, no, I'm telling you guys that he's not
Okay.
giving all the information for me to answer the question, I guess.
Okay, Mitchell. We need more information. And English would be preferred. English or Spanish, we
Yeah.
can both deal with.
Right.
Japanese were at a loss. Live free, die free. Evening, Phil and Sam. Good evening, my friend Johnny Torres. Sam, what are the best hooks for fly line at the islands for BFT? What sizes? Thanks.
At the islands and for BFT.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, so a lot of that's going to have to do with your bait size. That's probably where you're going to start, That being said, you're going to want to take a variety of hooks, especially both bluefin and yellowtail, at the islands. There's going to be times where you're going to be fishing 15-pound test and a size 4 hook. There's going to be times where you're fishing 50-pound test and a 3/0 hook, So you want to take a variety, everything from like I said, like a size 4 down to a size 4. Those blacktail hooks that we're selling so good at the show, those are really popular. When you get into a straight J live bait hook like a 2/0, 3/0, you get into some heavier duty hooks when you're fishing that heavy line, maybe a dropper loop or something like that. So when you're talking about bait fishing and fishing at the islands and fishing for tuna, the name of the game really is taking a variety. As far as it, they're trying to pin it down to one hook, one size. I don't think that's the right approach.
Tough to do.
Well, it's just not the right way to approach it,
Yeah.
because conditions change. Your bait changes too. You might go fishing 2 days in a row, might not have the same bait, So that's something that you really want to consider is taking a variety of hooks. But everything from a size 4 circle hook up to about maybe a 3/0. J hooks from about maybe a size 2 to a 2/0 would be where I'd look at. And then past that, you're going to get into especially in the larger sizes, in a thinner wire and a thicker wire hook too, because sometimes you can go with a little bit thicker, a little bit bigger size, but you want to still keep it a little bit thinner wire to have that bait be able to swim around too. Even the bait condition, you got super hot bait that's super strong, you'll probably slap a bigger hook on it, it'd be able to swim around with it, but sometimes you get bait that's maybe not too strong and you got to pare down your hook a little bit. So, that being said, I mean, it sounds like what I'm saying is you got to buy a lot of different kind of hooks, and you really do. You want to carry as much variety in those sizes that I just mentioned. Yeah.
All right, great stuff. Hit that like button, everybody. Thanks for all the support you're giving both Sam and I. Jaime Castro. Good evening, guys. Phil, I'm glad you're doing well, man. You had us worried about you. Thank you so much. Means the world to me. I mean it. Thank you, Jaime. Sam, any 900L or 900XL blanks at the show?
All right, none on this last year that I got from them. I know they're working on some stuff to try to help them in making those blanks. One of the issues that they were trying to work through, that it looks like they've gone some solutions for. So doesn't mean we're going to have any for this show, but at least we'll start having some. I know a lot of guys have been waiting for those blanks for a while, but I definitely think we're going to be having some of that stuff come through. I know they're going to be delivering some stuff to us on Saturday, I believe. The guys from CalStar are going to be bringing in like some fill-in orders and things like that. I know we have some stuff. Hopefully, they told me that they were going to have some of those black and tan jig stick blanks that everybody kind of wants. No holding, no pre-buying, no pre-sell on that kind of stuff, because I don't really know for sure 100% that they're going to be there, but I'll try to make a post if we do, and if they do, I'm sure it'll be gone in 60 seconds for sure.
Hey, regarding the Lexa 500, you don't think they're going to last very long at this show, right? You still with that mind thought?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of interest. We sold all those pre-sale ones. I did buy a bunch, and so we do have a lot. We weren't sure how many we were going to get, so I probably could have pre-sold some more, but I didn't want to sell something that I wasn't going to get. So we kind of pre-sold what we were insured to get.
Yeah.
Even though he said, you guys will probably get a few more than that, and we actually ended up getting most of our initial order that we made. So we're looking pretty good. That being said, I have a feeling we'll have them at least for a couple days. The way they were saying in the beginning that they were going to be allotted to every dealer, it looked like we weren't going to get that many, and the thought was, well, maybe we're only going to have them for the first couple hours, and that's it. But it looks like we'll have quite a few, and so I can't promise we'll have them on Sunday afternoon, last hour of the show, nothing like that. But
you think you're going to have them past Thursday now, at least?
I would say so. Yeah, I would think we have definitely enough to last us that first day, maybe part of the second day. I think so as well. So we have a pretty good supply. I think we loaded up like 40 of them or something like that.
Okay.
And so hard to say with any kind of 100% certainty, but where I thought we were going to have 6 or 8 of them, maybe 10, we got a lot more than that. So I think that initial rush, we'll be able to kind of weather the storm on that first initial rush, and we'll have some, I think, at least through the second day, I would imagine.
All right, but you would still admonish everybody to attend the first 2 days at least, probably the first day if you really want one.
If you really want one, get there the first day.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing too to remember is I'm not sure how many every other dealer got. So if you go wait in line somewhere and are waiting for them to give you one, and then you get to the front of the line and then they don't have one, then you go to the next dealer before you know it. You know, it's 2 o'clock. Yeah, you know, that can be the case. We're not going to have them all, you know, sitting there waiting the first day. You're probably going to have to go back and grab some back stock if they start going that quick. So there might be a point in time in which we don't have any left for the moment. So
could you purchase one from you at that point? No, okay.
We've already loaded them up, and so I can't physically grab one and set it aside anymore. But I would say that if you are 100% wanting to get one, I know we got a bunch, you know, and talk to the dealer that you normally shop with. If they're going to be there, talk to those guys and see what they got going on. I know some of the shops that weren't going to the show, I think they got some as well. So, you know, if you're not going to go to the show, you might want to hit those guys up if they have some left. But, you know, if you're going to go that first day and planning to be there the first day, that extra bonus deal is you get in free line. So that's the big deal. So on that reel there, it might save you 50, 60, 70 bucks depending on what kind of line you're going to put on there. So if you're planning to buy it at the show, I would definitely try to come see us. I know we're going to have some for sure at the beginning there, and you get that free line too. So yeah, come on down. I think we'll be good.
Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, did I tell you the president of Daiwa came by my hospital room?
He did?
Yeah, I mean, he was here last week, right?
I sent him down there. I told him.
Oh, you did?
Yes, yeah.
God darn it. I was wondering who the heck sent him down.
Yeah,
he came in and he said hi and he says, man, you look like crap. And then he left. That was it. Yeah.
Well, I told him to make it short and sweet. You didn't want to talk to anybody.
The president of Daiwa, man, he's just all over us. He's so happy about this promotion we've been doing on the Daiwa Lexa 500.
Yeah.
You know, I like the Daiwa Lexa 500, but there's nothing like that Pissin' Fun. Is that the name of it? Pissin' Fun?
Pissin' Fun.
Pissin' Fun. Yeah, something like that. All right, I don't want to get. I'm a Daiwa guy. Don't worry. The guy's going to get mad at me.
Yeah,
the president.
He's not going to see you anymore.
All right, Jay says, great show. Thanks for putting it on. Want to try jigging this year. What's a Graph Tech type rod to check out? And can a Fathom 30 or Talica 20 work for the time being?
Definitely more that Talica 20 on the bigger stuff. You know, this jigging thing, it really depends on what you're targeting. You know, just like any other kind of fishing, you know, you get in a small, medium, big type of thing. That Talica 20 would definitely be on the very biggest size that you would probably want to have as far as a reel. As far as a Graph Tech type rod, I don't know if you're kind of referring to like the affordability of it. There is some stuff out there, you know, even that Megalodon stuff from rods, honestly, with the discounts that we put on at the show, is pretty dang affordable. That would probably be where I would start. You know, there's a lot of other stuff out there that you get into these custom rods, $500-600, things like that, and they're awesome rods. They're beautiful, but that Megalodon for what we sell it for at the show is probably your best price. You know, there's some other stuff out there in the more slow pitch, lightweight stuff like that. We ended up bringing some of the Talavera slow pitch rods from Shimano. They're grapplers that are like their lower end grapplers. Plus we have some of those Mustad rods. One of the ones that actually I use in my long range trip, caught a lot of yellowtail on. That's more of the slow pitch, lighter tackle stuff, and we'll have those there as well. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking at, but it sounds like with those big reels there, you're talking about a larger application. So I'd look at that Megalodon.
All right, good stuff. Mike G, hey Sam, I bought a Makaira 50W from you at the Bart Hall Show in Del Mar. I still need to stop by your shop and get it filled up.
Come on down. We are going to be gone this week, so.
Are you guys not open at all?
Not really, you know, and we're going to be here part of the time, so I don't want you coming down and you know, and not catching us here. I know Steve's going to be here tomorrow from about 10 to 3 or so, and then maybe also on Wednesday 10 to 3. So you might be able to come down. But if he gets busy, he's going to be here by himself. So you know, if he gets busy, he may not be able to handle helping you out right away. If you can wait, I would wait till after the show. In fact, I would wait till probably a week after the show because it takes us about that much time to get the store
put back together.
Yeah, put back together. So that way you can come down. But if you want to give us a call the week after the show, we'll kind of schedule you in. If you come, especially if you're coming from out of town, because if you bought it at Del Mar, I'm assuming maybe you live down there. But we'll definitely be able to give you the show discount on getting that filled up, especially since you bought it from us down there.
All right, good stuff. Really, really good. And at the end of the show, before we sign off, we're going to have the great Chris Navarro show you all this tri-tip. Chris, we thank you so much for doing that, my friend. We have such great fans, right? Cooking food for us.
Ooh, man, can't wait.
Oh, my God.
Start reading these damn questions already.
Hey, listen. Make sure you leave me some of that.
Let's get to the end here.
All right. Wait. Oh, you want to get to the tri-tip?
Yeah.
All right. So stay tuned for that tri-tip and Chris Navarro. And we may even bring Dan out here and pull on his mustache for you. Who's the best rod wrapper, JD is asking, in the existence, I guess in the history, of Island Tackle?
Yeah.
Who would it be?
There's one guy that used to wrap here. He wore glasses.
Must be a guy named JD.
Yeah, he wore glasses. He was almost as good as the best guy. Well, almost as good as the worst guy. He's right above that guy. But this JD guy here, he's pretty dang good. I know for sure he thought he was the best.
Yes.
I mean, in his mind, he was the
a legend
best.
in his own mind.
Oh yeah. And to that level, he is the best rod wrapper that he ever knew to himself, in the mirror to himself.
I love it.
Yeah.
JD, it sounds like you won.
Mr. John
At least
Debelak, his name is John Debelak.
Oh, John Debelak.
Yeah.
I know John Debelak.
Do you?
No.
All right.
Yeah. But there was a guy in the ER room in the room next to me. Sounds like John Debelak. I told you about that guy.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that could have
Doesn't
been
sound a
him.
little bit
It
like
could have
him?
been him. Yeah. But no, John was actually a very, very good rod wrapper.
I'm
came
sure he
in,
was.
He was working with Brian Burrell on the half-day boat.
Yeah.
He came in, and we kind of showed him the ropes on wrapping rods, and before you knew it, he was off to the races. He actually did wrap a lot of rods for us.
Was he in here a couple weeks ago?
Probably.
That older gentleman? And
No,
you introduced
no,
me to
no,
him?
no.
That was some other guy
He's a younger
wrapping
guy.
rods or something.
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, John Debelak, thank you for participating in tonight's Tackle Shop
Hey, John, you
Confessions.
going to come help us break down the show, or what?
Yeah, you should, John.
We'll upgrade you on this rod wrapper status.
Yeah, we'll leave you a piece of tri-tip outside the door tonight. Just a little one, okay? Hey, look who's next. Do you know the great
Wow.
Greg Silks?
Awesome.
Greg Silks is...
Striper man, huh?
Yeah. I'm honored, Greg, that's watching. He says I've got Corona.
Could be.
And he says the best thing to do is chase it with some salt and lemon. We'll get together soon. I'll bring the plastics. Take care, you guys. We're tuning in tonight. All right. Good stuff. Greg, I want to see the plastics, man. He's got a whole new line of plastics that you're going to love. Jan Sachs, 123. Hello from San Marcos.
That's it.
Hey, you got any cobijas out there? Any blankets? I
found one, huh?
Yeah, I need a San Marcos blanket. You got one out there?
I got two at the house.
You do not.
Yeah.
Really?
Most Mexican families have a couple.
Well, are you selling them or anything?
No.
You're never
I
letting
would
them.
never sell that blanket.
God darn it.
I would
Mine's
never-
in China.
I would never take it to a foreign country and leave it there, that's for sure.
I got caught in the COVID thing.
Only an idiot would do that.
Hey, man. Believe me, getting in Our Lady of Guadalupe to a communist country was a chore in and of itself.
Well, then
You know?
then that's what it was worth to you. Then.
It was the only Our Lady of Guadalupe, San Marcos Cobija in todo China. I'm telling you.
I'm sure she got good money for it.
Who? The woman I left it with? Yeah, I hope not. I doubt it. They're like, ¿Qué es eso? Well, I mean, they didn't say that in Mandarin. I'm starting to lose it, in case you haven't noticed.
Lose what? What did you have?
Steve Bermudez, let's play politicians for fishing who support the fishing industry that we need to vote for. Oh, my neighbor where I live is Michelle Steele. She's in Congress.
Okay.
She's very pro fishing and all that, and I wanted to talk to her because I know she would support whatever it is we're after. So, what are we after?
Well, I would say on that front, join CCA, support their efforts. Trying to look.
Can I just interject for one second?
Well,
there's more of a reason. Yeah, I'm going to do it whether you want to or not. That star tournament is awesome.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stuff like that, exactly.
Trying to
The
help you
star
out.
tournament is being put on by CCA. Politicians in general, I mean, they have a constituency they have to, kind of address and answer to. And a lot of times that constituency is who's putting up the money, and who's putting up the dollars to have the lobbyists out there. The other side has a lot of money. I mean, a lot more money.
Way
so
more.
I think that it's important for us to remember that on that front, what we're doing with CCA is the number one thing you can do to address that. Obviously, voting the right way for your local politicians to help out certain measures, in your area is also important. But as a group, through Southern California, supporting CCA is probably the #1 deal. So that's who we have fighting for us when these things go down in those courthouses. That's who's fighting for us, the lawyers that are actually putting forth the effort for us. So don't forget to join and support CCA.
Right, perfect, 100%. Cue Ball says, I'm dead. About, what is that? Thank you. Very good. You did it better than I can do it. Oh, that's not it, is it?
That's about the same, yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a ghost or something,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Cue Ball, yeah, you're right. Robert S. Sam, open a shop here in northern San Diego, Temecula area. What do you think, Sam?
I'll do it tomorrow.
All right, thank you. Rocket Dog, yo, Phil and Sam. Welcome back, boys.
That's it,
We
man.
wouldn't miss this.
We're here.
Are we doing this next Monday?
Of course.
We're never missing another show. I don't care
Unless
what
there's
happens.
practice. We got practice starting, so it might change dates.
All right, we might change days because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got baseball and the kids. And,
Or maybe we'll put it off till the season's over.
yeah, we could. Don't do that. This is way too much fun. Richard, hi, Sam. Will the rain shadow blanks be discounted for the show?
Yeah, we were just loading those up as I was going through them, loading them up. I did notice that we did sell out of some stuff there at the Del Mar show. We sold a ton of the blanks at the Del Mar show. So we are taking what we have. We still have most of it, 95% of what we had before the show started. We still have at least some of each model for sure. And we're going to be doing the same discount, 40% off retail price on those things. So it's an awesome price. But yeah, so we're taking that stuff down there. I can't guarantee we're going to have everything that they have in their catalog. For sure, they have a giant catalog. But what we have there in stock is definitely going to be on sale. So come on down.
All right, great. Hit that like button, everybody. We appreciate your support. Dan Smith, Sam, do you have any billy clubs in the shop? You may need one to calm Phil down.
That's what I got this year for, man.
Oh my God! I'll calm down, Dan. And Dan, you got to realize, man, I'm just out of ER and the hospital yesterday. You should see me when I'm really cranked up
So
here.
right in that crutch, huh?
Yeah, really. Rocket Dog, Sam, if you need an extra hand on Thursday at the PCS show, will there getting my voucher for the Tatty book? There you are.
Yeah,
Rocket
that's a
Dog
tough
wants
one.
to.
Yeah, I'm going to be there as soon as Scott shows up. I'm giving him my $200 to buy that book, man. I mean, that's going to be first on my list. Make sure I'm buying that book.
That
But
book
yeah,
is so beautiful.
I know. So
He's done such a great job
You
on
have
that.
to talk to Scott on that. We're not the ones selling the book, but if we can figure out a way to help you out there and you're coming down and helping us out, we'll be there at 12 o'clock setting up. So for you guys that want to help set up, we'll be there at 12 o'clock. That's when they're letting us to get started. I don't know what time Scott's going to be there, so I can't guarantee you any favors with that guy.
Well, Scott Butcher's going to be there?
Oh, Scott Manson.
Oh, okay. Very good. Phase 2, much. Hey, Sam, contemplating 50-pound or 65-pound braid on a 400 size reel. I'm looking to use it for yellows and smaller grade tuna, say up to 100 pounds.
That's a baby.
Casting small to medium poppers, stick baits, and Colt snipers, iron.
Yeah, so there's two questions to be asked here. That 65-pound is going to get you more breaking strength, 100%, and would probably be something that wouldn't be a bad idea for yellowtail. On the tuna, a lot of times you need more line, so that 50-pound might be better just because you want to get more line on your reel. And the 100-pound tuna is not a small tuna. That's another one, too. We'll have to clarify that. On that size of reel, if you hook that fish at the beginning of your cast, you're out there 75 yards or so, something like that. If you make a good long cast downwind or something like that, you hook a fish instantly, you might be down to 150 yards before you even get started there. So a 100-pound tuna can take that 150 yards with no problem. So be that as it may, I would say 50-pound. That's what I have on my 400 size reels. I don't really use them a whole lot, targeting bigger tuna like that, 100-pound tuna. I would say be good up to about a 40, 50-pound tuna, 60, 70-pound. You're really pushing its limits. 100-pound tuna, it's definitely possible, but I would definitely say that you have to have a few things go your way targeting a 100-pound tuna. It can happen, but if they're straight 100-pound tuna, they're biting full speed, and you make a long cast like that, you're really going to have some things go your way. That's going to be a perfect chance to buy that Lexa 500. That'd be the answer right there. That thing will take 300 yards of 65, and now you got the capacity and the braking strength. That's probably what I would go with for that application.
Excellent stuff. Hit that like button. 123 people watching right now. What?
The very next comment, he just...
Phase
agreed.
too much.
Yeah.
After much
Obviously not
thought,
ideal, yeah.
and parenthetically, obviously not ideal for 100-pounders.
Right, not ideal, yeah.
All right, perfect.
Sorry, I should have
You
read
guys
that
are
first.
on the same track, man. Mike G, What would you recommend I put on the Makaira 50W? I plan on trolling shredder bars with that setup.
130. Yeah, it's going to take about 1,000 yards of that 130, so it's going to be a ton of line. But one of the things that happens with that type of fishing is you got to let that thing so far back. Occasionally, you get your lines crossed or they get tangled up. You get two lines, when you're trolling that far back, and you'll lose a bunch of lines. So what that does is it ensures you that you can keep fishing that day at least, So I'd put the 130 on there. I think you'll be good with that.
There you go, Mike. All right, Steve Bermudez wants to know if he can come down for some pissing fun tonight. No, he wants to know you don't need a rod plate if you're fishing with an electric reel.
That's right. Yeah, that rod plate is made so that it helps you kind of balance that rod from rocking back and forth on the rail. But yeah, you're right. You're not going to be winding if you use electric reel.
Rob S., gear ratio for a bluefin tuna reel for folks with elbow arthritis and shoulder issues. These are really good questions because a lot of old guys have all those issues going on, like Dan. Any suggestions to make it easier to land them? Yeah, hand the rod to the deck.
Yeah, that's going to be the easiest one there, yeah. You really want to get into that 2-to-1 low gear ratio. So if you get a 2-speed reel and you're looking at those reels, definitely a 2-speed for starters, and the low gear, that 2-to-1 low gear is what I would recommend, or even lower. Some of these reels, they go below, they get like a 1.3, like on a Makaira 16. That 15T I think has a 2-to-1 low gear. That's probably the ideal size for your 50 to 150 pound tuna. Once you start getting to that bigger stuff, that 16 with that 1.3 low gear is a nice one too. So that low gear, 2-to-1 is kind of in the neighborhood you want to be in. If a little lower, it'd be all right too.
All right, good stuff. I don't want to put you on the spot, but you said it before the show started tonight. I don't know if you remember that you wanted to talk about your admiration for me coming out of the emergency room and doing this show tonight. Do you have anything you want to say?
I was lying to you then, and then stick to that.
All right.
You're doing good, man.
My gut hurts. Don't make me laugh.
Does it?
Man. Yeah,
Every time you laugh?
Oh,
man.
Yeah, that's funny,
All
right?
All right. I'll be the straight man now. Yeah.
Well, keep it coming. MGM, that's Mark. He retracted a message. I always wonder about that when I see a message retracted. MJM.
Oh, yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it.
All right, did I? Oh, yeah, there we are. New point, new F point.
Yeah.
Charlie here. Glad to see you're okay. Hey, Charlie, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Not you. Face too much. Black and tan jig stick. Are you talking about the 100J mag? Will there be any? Now I'm starting to read like a moron. I'm starting to get tired. T1278.
T278H.
Thank you. Blanks at the show. If so, how much does the blank go for usually?
So
he wants to know usually. He doesn't want to know what it costs at the show. Just usually, what is it?
Usually,
Just kidding. Tell him what it costs at the show,
I think
right?
You're funny, huh?
Sorry, Face too much.
You done?
Yeah.
So okay, you got two blanks here. You got that 278H. So that's a CalStar blank. The one I was talking about earlier, actually, for that jig stick style stuff. That one there, I think, is around $115 or something like that, and then that's before a discount. And so those, after we discount them, are going to be less than 100. So that's a really, really good price on that guy. I think we are going to have some of those, and the T, in this case, is the honey color tan blanks. A lot of guys, for nostalgic reasons, have been really chasing that kind of stuff down. I know we had a stack of those color blanks going into the truck. I don't think we have a ton of them. That's going to be another one of those blanks that I think is probably going to be gone Thursday afternoon because we just don't have that many. And that 100J mag, I think they're around $300, and those we should be getting on Saturday, as far as I was told.
I'm sweating profusely. Does that mean anything to you?
Are you? Is that hot cotton,
A little bit.
maybe?
No, I don't think it's that.
Okay.
Hey, listen, you're Dan?
Yeah.
You know what he's doing?
Pissifun.
Yes! Yeah, we can hear it, everybody.
He's having a whole load of Pissifun.
I got to get one of those. I wanted just a photo of that reel. I want to do their marketing.
No,
I could get that spread everywhere, man. Pissing fun.
That's
Everybody likes pissing fun.
Yeah.
No? All right, let's get back to this. Be serious for a second. P&S Hornjack up there in the beautiful Montana. Sam, on like a 2-day, what quantity of hooks do you recommend?
Whew.
Oh, wait a minute. And he said, hello, sorry. They're out shoveling the driveway. Obviously, they have snow up there. Good to see you at full strength, Phil. I'm not at full strength, but
yeah.
I'm trying.
He hasn't been full strength for about 40 years. 40 yeah, so. But it's as good as he's going to get here. So quantity of
125
hooks,
people watching. Go
quantity
ahead.
of hooks, I don't know, 10 or 12 a size, I would say.
Sure.
That'd probably be all you would need typically on something like that, As far as total amount of hooks you're going to have, I think the average guy would have in his tackle box, what would you say, 5,000?
Yeah,
hooks?
at least.
Yeah, at least 5,000 hooks, yeah. Now, you're probably going to be, with the amount of different possibilities, you're going to be into, maybe 100 hooks or so, when you get all the different sizes and the different styles. But I would say 10 to 12 of each size. Some of the packages come in a 5-pack, some will come in a 6-pack. So about 2 packs per size per person would be more than plenty.
All right, good stuff. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are nice and warm up there in Montana. I'm sure it's a little chilly. Solid resident. Hey, guys, happy Monday. Appreciate what you do. We appreciate you being here with us. What are your thoughts on the Talica 12A and 16A 2-speed reels? Are they worth the price, Sam? Are they worth the price point, Sam? And does anyone offer deals on these reels at the show?
So the first hurdle there is the price of the reel. So they're actually the same price as the old Talicas. So I definitely think they're worth that. For sure, the old Talicas have proved themselves many, many times as being a super reliable reel. And so these new ones are going to be the same price. So I definitely feel like if you're in that market for that kind of reel, it's a good deal. And as far as a deal at the show, well, that's going to be the big hurdle. We actually don't have any in stock. I think a lot of people don't. They've been out of stock at Shimano for actually quite some time. There may have been some dealers that may be holding some back for the show, so you might see some there. I don't really know what they're offering, though. Typically it's a small discount on the Shimano stuff, especially on something like that that's brand new and kind of hard to get. So, yeah.
All right, good stuff. Thank you so much. Nautical Tenderness. Gents, great show. Phil, I'm glad to hear you're doing better. Hang tough. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. All of your kindness and prayers and thoughts. Really, really appreciate it, everybody. Sam, will you have any stick baits? Oh, very cool. Oh, what happened to Phil? What, he's not watching the show?
I know.
I'm that bad?
Yeah.
I don't even seem like I'm here,
I know, huh?
Not really. Sam, will you have any stick baits for yellowtail, schoolie, tuna, dorado? Thanks in advance.
Yeah, we're going to be taking some of the Nomad stuff. They're different kind of lures that they have. That probably we're going to have that. We're going to have some of the Yozuri stuff. I think maybe some of the Shimano stuff as well. So we have a little bit of variety in that kind of small to medium size. Yeah.
All right, JD is back, and now he's backtracking a little bit. That's needling him too much about being an egomaniac. Now he's saying the best rod wrapper was Freddie.
Yeah, well, they kind of got a little bromance going.
Oh, so. Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Too bad Valentine's Day is gone. Bye. Is there something coming up that they could do something on?
I'm sure they don't need a holiday to express
Probably
their
not.
love.
Yeah, no. It's so nice to see that kind of love and bloom.
Yeah, you gotta nurture that kind of love. You know?
do.
It doesn't happen on its own.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gotta feed it. You gotta make sure it's healthy.
Yep.
They
they can wrap a rod together maybe.
I'm sure they have.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Cute. We're going to get in trouble, if we keep this up. Dezung Duong, who happens to be one of the most generous people I know. Great guy. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Hi, Phil and Sam. Phil, I'm glad to see you're looking good. I love this guy, man. Sam says I look like crap. Miss your morning briefings and wonder if you're doing well. I'm on the road to recovery. I still have a few hurdles in the future here, but I don't think they're going to be any big deal. I think I'm going to be okay. And I appreciate your kind words and the fact that you're asking. Sam, would the Talica 20 with 100-pound braid match well with the Phoenix Megalodon 608?
Yeah, that's their medium-sized one there. A lot of guys do fish a little bit smaller reel with that, but not much smaller. So yeah, I think you're in the game there. So the biggest difference between the 608 and 609, sometimes. We look at these rods and we talk about a 50-pound rod or a 60-pound rod, 80-pound rod. These rods are a little bit different. You're really more measuring them in the jig size you're going to use. So that 608 is something that is probably going to be good for, I'm just thinking off the top of my head here, going to be, in that 200 to 400 gram size jig, and really kind of really excelling more in that like maybe 150 to 250, maybe 250. I think 250 to 300 would probably be where its sweet spot is, and that's kind of been the size of jig that's been most popular. So a lot of guys have been using that rod for that reason. That's just been kind of the popular size on the jig. As far as the reel that we're using, a lot of times we want to match the reel to the rod, but actually in this case, we're matching the rod to the jig size. But that 609 would be another one too to look at, and a lot of guys use that just because it's the stiffest one in the lineup. And you start hooking these big monsters, you know, and sometimes you're hooking these things on the drop. You're using a big jig, 400, 500 gram jig, hooking them on the drop, and you just want the most powerful rod. At that point, you really don't need a jigging rod because you're not jigging. I mean, you're just hooking them on the drop. But if you are having to still kind of jig to put action on the jig, the heavier the jig, the heavier the rod. But that 608 is going to probably give you the most range of medium to medium large jigs.
All right, good stuff. And Echo was watching the show earlier. I forgot to comment. She just started chemotherapy in mainland China, so all my thoughts and prayers are with you, and I will be keeping you in my prayers. I taught with her in China. LabWorks is in Australia. We got people all over the world watching this show, man.
Awesome.
And he says he'll come and help you set up, but it's going to cost you a blank.
That'll do it, no problem.
You're good with that?
Yeah.
All right. Isaac says, good evening, gentlemen. Getting here late. I'll catch up tomorrow. All right, sounds good. Excuse me for coughing, everybody. Calico Chris, get well, Philip. I heard when you cast the line at least 3 times a day, it keeps the doctor away. I think that's great advice. Chris, it was great to see you at our surf fishing event. We got to get this guy at the next one. That was really fun, man. What? Really fun. Yeah, it really was, man.
Awesome.
There was a ton of people there. And huh?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I forget, actually, now.
No, surf fishing day, yeah.
No, I don't think it was the surf fishing. What was it? Yeah, it was. You're starting to fall apart like I'm actually going down the tubes here. Dazung Duong. Sam, Caesar from Phoenix said that comes July, the Megalodon rods will have an acid wrap. Have you heard anything from Phoenix about that time frame? Great question.
Yeah, no, that's something that they were developing last year, actually, you know, just before they got sold. And I know that was something they were continuing to develop, and from what I understand, already in production. And so if that holds true, and I was talking to Caesar about it as well, and it sounds like it's going to be the case. So I know a lot of guys are excited about it. When that thing comes out, I think it's going to be a great product. You know, a lot of guys actually, you know, one of the reasons they get a custom wrap jigging rod is so that they can get it acid wrapped. You know, the stock ones come wrapped standard. And so in this case here, you're going to be able to get pretty much a custom rod, at least as far as the wrapping as the guides are concerned, but for a much better price. So we'll see when that comes out. Hopefully by July. Typically, they're pretty good on their predictions, and I'm pretty sure they're already kind of done and on the way. And that's just how long it takes to get here and get in the warehouse.
Breaking news from Dazung Duong. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate that. Isaac says, hoping to see everybody there on Sunday for the show. You'll definitely see Sam there. 125 people watching. Chris, excuse me, Fish with Ish, trying to fill a spot in my setup. Have a Tranx 400 for 20 to 40 pound Talica, 12 for a 60 to 80 pound Talica, 20 for 100 plus. What would be the Talica 8 or 10? Fill the gap for me, 40 to 60.
40 to 60. Well, you know, I mean, I think if you're talking 40 to 60 pound
It's for
braid,
tuna, by the way, he says.
Yeah, if you're talking 40 to 60 pound braid, maybe, you know, the way I would look at those reels is that the 400 would be really more like a 15 to 25 pound. That Talica 12 would be more like a 30 to 40 pound. Your 8 or 10 would be more like also that kind of like that Tranx 400, but maybe more of a live bait reel. That Tranx 400 might be more of a lure reel, something something to cast stick baits and things like that. And your Talica 20 for your big stuff. I mean, you're pretty good as far as that. You got a Talica 12 and a Talica 20. I would still look at maybe getting a smaller Talica like that 8 or 10 and maybe be a fly line reel that you could fish maybe 25 to maybe 40 pound or 25 to 30 pound. Whereas a Talica 12, I probably wouldn't be fishing 80 pound with that. It just doesn't hold enough line. That Talica 20 would be good for like 60 or 80. You might even consider getting a bigger reel, like 100 plus. You know, when you talk 100 plus, maybe even a bigger reel. So it sounds to me like what you probably would get is that 8 or 10, but that would fit in between those two, and maybe move down that Tranx 400, and even move down that Tqckle 12. So yeah, you might even need 2 reels here actually. One that falls in between those two, and one that falls maybe above that Tqckle 20.
All right, good stuff. By the way, I don't have a cold. I don't want you to think I'm coughing. Ever since they shoved that camera down my throat, I've been coughing. So they must have.
Too late now. I'm sitting here.
I know, but I don't have a cold. I'm
We're
telling
an
you.
hour and a half into this.
By the way, did you ever see that one where Curly swallowed a goldfish and they were in front of an X-ray machine?
Oh yeah.
You did see that? Mo put the bait in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it?
You want to do that?
Yeah, that is too funny, man. I love that one. All right, 540 Slinger, who is Jeff Yeomans. Thank you for your service, Jeff. He says, good evening, Phil and Sam. It's always good to see you. DJB. Haven't seen you for a while. Sam, thoughts on the SPJ? I'm looking at accurate 600 SPJ or upgrading to 800 for ultimate capacity. Do you carry accurate? And can you show it if you do?
Yeah, we got some.
Whoa, man.
I don't know if I have
DJB,
the
this is what the kind of stuff
600.
I love. I don't care what Dan Lightfoot says anymore. I tell you, stick around, everybody. At the end of the show, Chris Navarro will be showing you his, I don't want to say that. He'll be showing you his tri-tip. I don't know, or that might even get us in trouble. Chris Navarro is going to expose his tri-tip on the Friedman Adventures, what is the name of the show?
World-renowned.
Tackle Shop Convention. You better get that. What did Dan say? He asked if you had one of those billy clubs.
Yeah.
All right, while Sam is over there goofing around, A-Best Income Tax, our friend Tim Marquez, 310-892-3503. Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning, 626-901-4822. That is John Lopez, a great guy. Sam's coming right now with the new reel, and Ventura Sport Fishing, 805-676-3474. Visit the Independence website, independentsportfishing.com, and join us on the Friedman Adventures April 4th through April 9th trip. I think I'm more excited. I got to go to ER more often, I think, right? Every week
every day.
before the show,
Every day you
I'll
should.
go to ER.
Every morning.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Yeah. So this is the 800 Narrow. Pretty popular actually as of late. It gives you a large format jigging reel, but also a 2-speed. And these Accurates have been known for a long time for their 2-speed reels, but they make it in this SPJ. And the SPJ really is the knob and the long handle here, Sue. In this case, you were actually using it for speed jigging or just jigging, not necessarily the slow pitch that you would associate maybe that rock fishing or yellowtail with. This is more of this fast jigging with these megalodon rods, vertical jigging type stuff. But it does have, in the denomination of the reel, is going to be the SPJ handle, which is what it's got here. So this is that one there. It's a pretty nice reel, pretty popular. The one that I use is actually this Shimano Osha Jigger 4000. Very similar size reel. This is a single speed reel. And I haven't caught a giant with it, but I've caught some nicer tuna, about 120 pound or so. And I got that big yellowtail on it, and it was more than capable. And I think that the other thing too is the price. This guy here is going to be around $600. I think these are like around $800. And so, but you do get a 2-speed here. So I think that's one of the things that people really kind of like, the idea that you get into a really big fish, you can have a little bit more cranking power on that guy there. The 600 extra narrow, or the narrow, I didn't have any of those in stock. But that's also a nice one. Another one you might want to look at it if you're looking at a large format reel is the Saltwater 55. Been another popular reel in that large format jigging reel.
All right, great stuff. Face too much as Chris Navarro is looking at his watch. Does that mean he's having fun and enjoying the show, or I don't know. He doesn't think I've got good peripheral vision. I see everything that's going on out there. Even though I'm looking at you and looking here, I can see him looking at his watch.
He wants to know what time it is.
Oh, what time is it, Chris?
7:30.
Whoa, what a show! And we've only just begun. God darn it.
Gosh darn it is right.
Did I say God darn it? You swore the other night on the show.
Did
Do
I?
you
What did I
remember
say?
that?
No.
You know when you swore? It was freaking on Ash Wednesday. We were doing a live show and you said, Jesus Cristo. And you go, oh, I shouldn't say that on live. Somebody got, I mean, that wasn't bad. I'm not picking on you. Don't worry.
I don't care.
That happens.
Oh yeah.
Did you
Really.
confess that?
I didn't. It wasn't me.
Oh. Who was it? Oh, Scott Bucher
Yeah.
got in there and did it, yeah. All right. Faced too much. Are you able to ship a T2 270H8 to San Diego? If so, how much is shipping on a blank like that?
I don't know off the top of my head how much the shipping is exactly, but I would venture to say it's more expensive than driving up here.
Really?
Yeah, any package, not the blank itself, because the blank is 8 foot long already. But even if it was a shorter blank, and once the package hits 8 feet exactly, it can be 7'11", and it's probably about $40 to $50. And 7'12", which is 8 feet, that extra inch is going to get you up to about $350. And so I would say, yeah, it's almost not really worth it to ship for the price. So that's up to you, though. You know, if you just can't get up here and that's the only way for you to get it, I'll definitely ship it down to you. But from what I understand, that shipping is pretty dang expensive.
All right, face too much. Look, man,
Yeah.
I'm going down there to do some interviews here pretty soon, and I'll be down there for sure for our 5-day trip.
He'll buy it for you and deliver it.
No, I won't do that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'll take it down to you if you want to meet somewhere.
Oh, okay.
I'll give it to Scott Bucher to. Yeah, I'm sure you'll find it at a garage sale out in front of his place
Yeah.
later that day. So, no, I would bring it down to you if you want. April 4th, 3rd, something like that. I'll be down there for sure. Alex Ortega, hey fellas, will there be any deals on the new Lexa 500?
You know, it's hard to say. You know, we were talking about that today, depending on, you know, really the availability of them. I mean, we got a bunch of them in, you know, more than I anticipated, which is good. You know, I want to make sure we had some for the whole show. As of right now, I'm going to say I don't know. I don't know what we're really going to do on them. The price on them is $450. The big deal is that you're going to get free line. You know, so that's kind of your extra added incentive there to get the reel. You know, there may be a little bit of a discount, but I really don't know. I mean, we're going to have to kind of see what everybody else is doing. I'm going to talk to the guys from Shimano tomorrow and on Wednesday and see kind of what kind of program everybody has. We're just going to do what everybody else does. Since it is a new product, they may or may not even want it to be discounted a whole lot. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, we'll do what everybody else is doing and try to be fair and make sure that everybody has a shot to sell what they got. But as of right now, I just don't know for sure.
130 people watching.
What are they watching?
I don't know.
Oh.
They're switching right off right away after
Just
they get
stop
2
watching.
seconds of it. Dan Smith is carrying on this tradition that I've started tonight about the pissin' fun.
Oh.
And Dan says he was an old commercial fisherman, not that old, fished albacore commercially.
Older than you?
Yeah,
old.
probably about the
That's
same
old.
age. Yeah,
Oh.
it is. I'll tell you. He says that pissin' fun is when you go to the back of the boat. You're in the
Yes,
stern,
yes.
and you're doing what that reel
All the
implies
jigs,
that you're
yeah.
doing, and all the jigs get bit.
Oh,
And he
geez.
says, now that's pissin' fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. 100%, man. Those albies come up, bite all the jigs. You get a 4-way, or on a commercial boat, you probably get an 8-way, and you're not laughing. What's wrong with you? You're real serious? Oh, you want to get through this, and you could smell that tri-tip.
You say something funny?
Omar. Remember Omar? I met him at
That's
the
your
Fed
buddy.
Hall show.
Oh, yeah, every day, yeah.
Yeah, Omar. I met this guy, Omar. He was the greatest guy in the
Different
world.
Omar.
And then I wasn't at the
Omar.
show. Yeah. Hey, Omar, it's good to see you. There's 2 Omars out there. You know what I'm joking about. What's up, guys? I have a CalStar 800M as a 25 to 30 pound setup. I'm looking for another rod, but for 20-pound line class, what would be better for local fishing? 800 XLH or
800L.
thank you. Could these rods be used for bluefin tuna?
Yeah, these are definitely going to be good rods for 20 pound. Both of them are going to be about the same, actually. The XLH, maybe a little bit lighter tip for when there's smaller bait around, but the 800L is probably going to be your most kind of all-around rod in that kind of line class as if you're going to go with the CalStar. I would also look at that 278H or the 278 as well. Be a nice fill-in if you can't find one of those other ones.
All right, good stuff. Eric Ramos says, feel better, Phil. Eric,
you go.
deeply appreciate that. Thank you so much. Brian Wynn is here with us tonight. See you tomorrow, Sammy. Who calls you Sammy?
Quite a few people did.
Can I start calling you that?
No, my friends do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sammy sounds weird to me. I don't think I
does
call
it?
you Sammy. It's too, I don't want to say because I'll get thrown off YouTube. Just sounds a little cute for a different word, you know? And I don't consider you cute. Okay? I
No.
consider you a good friend, but cute is like heading down to
Can you
get
please get to the question, please?
heading down to
Oh.
get my badge from Bill. Is there like a badge ceremony? Does Bill put it on? There's music or something in
Uh-huh,
place?
uh-huh.
Oh, All right, very cool. He's going to get his badge from Bill tomorrow with the music playing in the background. We'll stop by and see the layout so my big behind doesn't get in your way during the show. So this is a great segue into talking about Brian Wynn at the Island Fishing Tqckle booth at the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show.
Yeah, so he's going to be down there at the booth talking jigging, talking fishing, you know, in between his seminars. So he's going to be doing a whole seminar schedule down there at the PCS show. And Brian Wynn has, you know, been kind of like the seminar guy. He's got a really good program down for different kinds of fishing, live bait fishing, and jig fishing here. As of late, he's kind of become one of the guys that has really put together a nice presentation for guys that are interested in jig fishing and want to learn more about it, or just as a general, you know, even live bait fishing forum. He's been really good at putting together a good seminar. So if you guys are going to have some time there at the show, look up the seminar schedule. Look up for Brian Wynn's general fishing, and then maybe also his jigging seminar. I know that jigging seminar gets pretty packed. You know, you know, as we all know, it's kind of the new rage. Everybody's into it, and it's for a good reason. You know, it's a technique that's new to all of us. So, you know, for you guys that want to learn more about it and kind of get informed on what, you know, kind of get set up, that seminar is definitely one you don't want to miss.
And I might add that nobody does it as good as Brian. He explains so well.
He's done it so many times. He's kind of cut out all the fat. He's, you know, what we're about to do to you next week. But yeah, but after that, you know, he's
you guys are supposed to laugh at this?
He's got it down pretty good.
133 people watching, Sam. I'm not going to cut the show off with this many people watching.
They're not.
Our fans are all over us.
No, you can't cut it out.
Cool Granddaddy, Sweets Forever, Phil and Sam. This guy's a great guy. Tried to kiss me at the Bart Hall show. Great show. I have one foot in the grave and the other one is on a banana peel. And you look twice as good as me. Oh, come on. Don't say that. You need eyeglasses. But don't let his head grow, Sam. Keep him humble.
I'm trying.
With uppercuts.
I'm trying, yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're going to keep me humble with that. I got to fight my desire to have a piece of that tri-tip tonight.
Yeah.
Because it'll get me sick. I know it will. But
yeah, you're not going to eat it.
I'm going to eat it for breakfast. I'm going to have a little bit.
No, you're not.
I'm just going to.
No.
Can I have a little bit? Oh, Chris is like, thank you, Chris.
If you stay up really, really late, then you're still eating early.
Oh, hey, he's right.
There you go.
I just can't go to bed tonight.
Just don't go to bed, yeah.
Love this guy. I'll be walking around Surfside at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? All right, sounds good. Mackie, giving away any tickets to the show this weekend. Mackie, I was in ER and didn't get a chance to get that together. I depended on Sam to do something, and unfortunately.
They were about to give them to me, and they said who they were for, and then I messed up.
You said it was me?
Yeah, I said it was you, and they give them right back.
That'll do it, man. I'll tell you, Bill, he got upset about it, huh?
Yeah.
Get some from the president of Daiwa.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll do it.
got some, yeah.
Brian Wynn, glad to see you up and about. Philip, your text over the weekend scared me a bit. I was trying to, Brian. No, it's good to see you. I mean, it's good to be back, and can't wait to see you. We've got a lot to talk about. We're doing a bunch of stuff here in the very near future. P&S Hornjack, do you sell pre-made bite leaders with a split ring?
We do. We do have them here. We sell them in a 200-pound mono configuration, and then also a 300-pound fluorocarbon, kind of a heavy-duty configuration as well. So, yeah, we got them here for sale.
Julio, SAFA. Hey, Guy, do you think a Macaira 15T would cast an 8-ounce sinker
of the surf? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's not something that guys really would use in that capacity a whole lot. I think you'd be better off with maybe, more of just a star drag reel to make those kind of casts. But if that's what you got, I mean, it wouldn't be the best cast, but if you hook a big one, you'd be in a good shape for fighting a big fish, for sure.
You have no idea how close we are to the tri-tip because we have very few questions left.
I know exactly how close we are.
Pushing, I know you do, man. I know you do. And the more I talk, you know what happens, right?
Yeah.
The more questions show up.
I know.
We're going to show you this tri-tip. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love it when Chris reveals his meat tonight. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful roast. It really is something. What's so funny? What?
What are you looking at the short shorts for?
I'm talking about the tri-tip.
What's wrong with you, man?
Filthy mind.
What's wrong with you,
Oh,
man?
my God.
What did this
You
doctor
need to
do
go to
you?
mass more often.
What does doctor do to you?
Really. I think you got to get the Billy Club or whatever it is. I'm giddy from all the drugs I took, right? All right, Rocket Dog's had enough. He says, good night, gents.
Yes.
DJB,
Smart guy.
Sam, thanks for the input on the SPG reels. Learning to a two-speed option. Leaning to a two-speed option to provide a help button when needed. The Accurate 600N only has 300 yards capacity.
Yeah, that's
enough.
That 600N is I mean, definitely going to be enough for 50 to 150 maybe size fish. And even that would be kind of pushing its limits a little, maybe more of that 50 to 100 size fish. That 800 is really going to be something you're going to be targeting bigger fish with. Once you start getting bigger than call it 120 to 150 pounds, just because of the line capacity, you're right there. And many times you're fishing at 100 yards out, so you're going to be starting out at a deficit of a third of your line being gone, if not even more. And let's say you're fishing for a couple hours, getting into a tangle and losing some line is very possible. Just part of night fishing is the way it goes, fishing with a lot of other people on the boat. I definitely would go with a little bit bigger reel in that case. And as far as the two-speed thing, I would say it's definitely something that is kind of a comforting thing to feel like you have a little bit extra help. On the other hand, the few fish that I've caught on a single speed reel isn't as bad as you would think. When you don't have that leverage factor that is a rail rod against you on the rail, where a two-speed reel is an absolute must, I think that you have a little bit less hard time winding in a fish with a single speed reel. But there's no doubt about it, the button in a lower gear is always going to give you a little bit more torque, so that might be the way you want to go there.
140 people watching. Isaac wants to know, Sam, how would you pick the Daiwa Proteus rod? By the mono rating or the braid rating? Seems like they're far apart.
Well, I mean, more the mono rating, especially if you're looking to match it up to a certain leader size or something like that. That's what I would look at, especially with these kind of more modern, graphite rods like the Proteus rod and the rods from Shimano or any of these brands here that kind of have two different ratings. That braid rating is not something that we really use here on the West Coast as far as trying to figure out what rod is best for you, because we're still using a mono leader by and large. So I definitely go more on the mono rating.
All right, good stuff. Labworks wants to know, what depth are you fishing, DJ? Camargo 1. Hello, fellas. Salas seems to be the longest running homemade irons company. Would you be able to tell us of other locally made iron companies that get bit? Well, for sure, Taddy.
Taddy, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if homemade is the right word.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, locally made. But I mean, all of them. We have JRI and all the other guys that have been making jigs. Here. I mean, a lot of those new ones are kind of CNC jigs. But as far as kind of something that was locally made, I mean, and historically been around, I mean, Taddy and Salas are the only two that have been around that long. But the other brands there, that JRI and there's OCT and Strictly Iron. I mean, I don't know. There's so many of these kind of like CNC type jigs that I think those are all pretty good too. But as far as just something that has been around for a long time, Taddy and Salas are the only ones.
Yes, Chris has a question.
Is Sumo still in business?
No.
Who's that?
Sumo. So Chris was asking if Sumo jigs.
Oh, yeah. That was, what was his name? Daryl.
Daryl Wasano, yeah.
Is he around doing anything, or do you know?
He's retired, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not working in tackle anymore.
Hey, Daryl, if you happen to be watching, I haven't seen you for ages.
Cool guy.
Yeah, hope you're doing good. All right, very good. Sparky SCR. What are the best show specials for rod building equipment?
The best show special, I would say, would be that 40% off on those rain shadow blanks. That's probably by far the best special. The other part that I would really consider, there's a few things. One is the fact that you'll be able to visit with all the rod building manufacturers at the show. That's the cool part. So you'll have bats in there with all of the Rain Shadow and Alps products, Forecast products. You'll have American Tackle, which is now under foundation.org, which is a kind of a conglomerate. They also own all the CRB stuff, all the Moto, all under one umbrella is owned by them. And they have a bunch of rod building stuff, reel seats, blanks, thread. They also distribute the Pro products, the Pro Paste and the Pro Wrap thread. So they have all that stuff there. And so that's going to be the best part of it, is being able to visit with these guys. Another thing as well, as an added bonus, American Tackle is putting on a function on Friday night, I believe. It's going to be kind of a social get-together for anybody that's involved in rod wrapping, rod building, and who may be interested in rod building. You're going to get pretty much all the guys that are doing that together, socially, kind of chit-chatting, trading ideas, things like that, Friday night, and that benefits CCA. So I think that for you guys that are interested in just kind of having some time with these guys and picking their brains on different techniques, or just maybe ways they've gone around some of the rod building stuff, that'd be a great opportunity. But just getting down there, and everything that we have in the booth is going to be on sale. But a few choice things. I mean, blanks particularly, which is kind of your most expensive part of your rod, we're going to have them all on sale.
Excellent. That Friday night chit chat, I heard, is going to be I heard it's going to be a little chat and a whole lot of chit.
Yeah.
So,
you going to go?
I don't know.
You want to go?
No.
You should.
I might. I'm sick. I'm trying to get over this crap.
You are sick, that's for sure.
David Alcantar says, go enjoy the meat already.
We're trying here, this guy here.
Peter Solonsky says, the bigger the better.
That's for sure.
We're going to check that. Is it a big meat that you have? Chris?
It's more than you're going to have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris is, okay, very good. Stop all this double entendre crap tonight. It's disgusting. All right, Eric Huya. Eric like,
whoa.
Eric like Huya. Why?
Whoa.
I'm sick, Eric, so forgive me. Between the Lexa 500 and the Lexa 400 TW, would there be a significant difference in how they would fish, drag and line capacity being less on the TW, but less weight and compact size is more appealing?
It is. It's a smaller reel that holds less line and catches smaller fish. The bigger reel holds more line and catches bigger fish. So it's really more of an application thing. I think that if you're after bigger fish and need more line, especially more bigger line, you're going to want the 500. That's really where it's going to excel. I think that the guys that are going to really be focusing on that reel are guys that are going to be throwing poppers for yellowtail and tuna. That kind of fishing is there. That Lexa 500 is really going to come into play. Not that the Lexa 400 can't catch a tuna, but once you start getting into some bigger stuff, even bigger rods, it might just fit better. As far as the ergonomics of it, where you get kind of a big rod with a tiny little reel. That 400 TW is an awesome reel, though. And I think that's a super reel, but definitely on the smaller side. So just depends on kind of what you're targeting.
Did you bring pizza too?
No.
Oh, okay. I see pizza box.
That was our lunch, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get back to Dan Smith, who says, Sam, forget the fish Billy. Just get the, what is that?
EKG.
EKG. Hey, for Phil.
You know what
Love
that
you,
is?
Phil. Yeah, I think I do.
yeah.
That wire that you
Yeah.
run up the spine. Yes. Thank you, Dan. Duan Dujong. Hold on one second. There he is. DBG, I recently had store put on 420 yards of 80-pound isoline, colored metered line on my Accurate BVT Valiant 600 and SPJ. Thanks for sharing that. Edgar Salinas.
So
go ahead.
before you go, so that 600 narrow is not the 600 narrow. So there's actually four widths. There's a 600 narrow, the standard, and the wide. If you're talking about the 600 narrow, it's damn near the same size of a regular 600. I can show you one of those, but the 600 narrow, which is generally considered the slow pitch width, would be in super narrow. It's definitely going to hold a lot less line of that size.
All right, very good. Edgar Salinas. Sam, what's the capacity on the OSHA jigger on the desk?
Yeah, so that's going to hold about maybe 450 yards of 80-pound braid on here, maybe 450 to 500, something like that, depending on what kind you put on and how full you want it.
All right, very good. Dan Smith says, get well, Phil, and get some rest if you can. Dan, you've been hilarious tonight. Good stuff. I love that Stern Albacore pissin' fun thing. Let's see. Arigota. RB kicker jigs have been around for a minute.
Yeah, that's another one too. Yeah, that we kind of passed over those. They've kind of changed hands a couple times over the years, but that's another jig that they make. I'm not sure if they make it locally, but definitely distributed locally, and they've been a good seller for us too. I mean, they have that kicker jig 25, the 15, and they also have them in a heavy as well, and actually pretty reasonably priced. So it's another one you guys should look at.
All right, good stuff. Lots of people watching tonight. It's been a great show. Hit that like button, please. Starting to move up on 2 hours on the show. Constant questions from all of you and a lot of people watching. We deeply appreciate it. By the way, says Eric Lekhuya, thank you for taking the time to share your wealth of knowledge. I love all the learning. Phil, glad you are doing better. Eric, thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. Stephen Bermudez. As a custom rod builder, do you put down rod rating stickers on the blanks?
Yeah, if the customer wants it. I mean, on my own, I don't always do that just because, for my own stuff, I already know what I'm going to use it for. I don't really use it for a range. Usually every rod I use it for just kind of one size. But typically, yeah, I mean, when we build custom rods for people, we'll put whatever they want. But typically, they want to have the rod information, which is going to be the brand, the model, and then the line rating.
All right, very good. Remember, at the end of today's show, Chris Navarro will be showing his meat, and you don't want to miss that because we're going to dine on that tonight. It's going to be delicious.
Yes, it looks great.
Can't wait. On the carnivore diet, Dan is on the carnivore diet, so I see him like, when's the show going to end finally? I want to get into this, man. Sam's thinking the same thing. All right, let's see. And DJB is thanking Dujong Duong for that previous help that he gave him. Notice how I kind of went through that fast so I can get to
Thank you.
Halibut Man. Mitchell says, I just thought of something. Michael is missing out on a great tri-tip. Hey, he's feeling a little bit under the weather. So Dan, being the great grandfather he is, said, see you later, kid. I'm going to eat tri-tip. Hope you feel better. So that's how that goes. So he's not here because he's not feeling better. And of course, I'm kidding. Dan, hey, Michael, I'll stay with you, blah, blah, blah. And Michael said, Grandpa, you're such a good man. Go enjoy with the boys and have fun with that tri-tip. Dujong Duong, he's back to DJB. These guys are having a private conversation. Should I skip over that?
No, well,
Plan to match Phoenix Megalodon 607 to Valiant BV2 600N SPJ for other expert advice.
That's right.
You agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, that seems to would be a good outfit. Like I said, once again, you're really matching the rod to the jig size. And typically, the smaller the jig, the smaller the game, so you go with the smaller reel. But really, the rod and the jig are going to be one thing. The line really is just collecting the line for you as you're jigging. And so you really want to have the line size be more, the reel be more based on the line size you're going to use. So it's kind of a different approach to rod and reel choices, but in this case here, what you got going, I think would work just fine.
Israel de la Cruz, that's Izzy, who not only caught his first halibut on board the Pride on a recent trip, but he caught his first two halibut and won the jackpot. So Israel, my hat's off to you. Sam, what Graph Tech rod is similar to the Phoenix M1 inshore rod?
Well, they don't have too many of that inshore series, but they do have some. I think they have some, they call them wall bangers or like a 7'2", but not a huge variety, whereas the Phoenix M1 inshore, they have everything from a 7'9" or something like that, 7'2", all the way to a 9 foot. So quite a big variety of different rods. But in that Graph Tech line, they do have a couple of those lighter ones. Not too many though.
Alex Ortega. Alex, good evening to you, my friend. What rod would you recommend to pair with the Lexa 500?
Anything in that 8 to 9 foot, 20 to 50 pound, 30 to 60 pound. Rod, it would probably be good. There's so many rods, and it's really going to depend on your application. That reel is going to have so many different applications, from throwing poppers, throwing surface irons. So you're throwing poppers, you're probably going to be into like a 9 foot, something rated like 20 to 50, 30 to 60. Jig stick's probably going to be more in your 9 foot, 30 to 60, probably be more appropriate for something like that. And I did see a post the other day that Duran, he has his clamps, Duran clamps. He tried it on one of those Lexa 500s, and it fit just fine.
Oh, yeah?
And that has a little bit larger clamp. That's kind of what I was thinking about, this jig stick thing. And so if you're using a jig stick, you might want to hit them up. If you get one of those reels, want to hit them up if you're want to need a clamp for that.
All right. Slam that like button. We're almost to the end of the show. It looks like Jay. Hi, Sam. Do you set up your OSHA jigger? How do you set up your OSHA zigger and jigger? And what rod do you fish it on?
So on mine, I've got it filled with that Power Pro Depth Hunter Offshore 80 pound is what I got that filled up with. And I think I took about 500 yards on that. And I fish it on a United Composites CXJ 6005, which is kind of their heaviest in that series, which is a pretty common setup. Some guys will fish it on a Zeus 4 or a Zeus 5. And I know that Darren over there at 310 Rod Works is going to have some of those rods pre-made there at his booth. Those are typically only available from United Composites in a blank form. United Composites doesn't offer a complete wrapped rod for those jigging rods yet. But at the moment, 310 Rod Works, Darren Dohe, he is going to have them available down at the show. So that's another item too that I would, if you are interested in picking up a a nice pre-made, United Composites jigging rod, that's going to be the place to go. I think he's probably going to sell out of some. I know last year he sold out of some stuff right away the first day, and that jigging stuff. I think he brought it. I think he made a bunch this year, from the news of last year of what he sold, and I think you should probably be able to pick some up throughout the show. But that's going to be another one of those items that certain models might get sold real quick.
All right, excellent stuff. The top says, awesome show. Thanks again, guys. Thank you so much. Acme Sam, what are your thoughts on the United Composites Tilefish Junior? It seems like a very unique rod.
Yeah, it's a nice rod that they have, in the US version, which is the RUS Tilefish Junior. The R is going to be for a completed rod, but it's a super nice rod. I mean, that's going to be more like a 25, 30-pound rod, and in the GP, maybe more like a 40-pound rod, but generally a little bit faster action, a little bit lighter tip than the other rods, kind of right around it. But a super nice rod for sure. If you can get one, I know that they're hard to get these days.
Edgar Salinas wants to know if the Ocean Jiggers will be on sale this weekend.
Yeah, 100% on sale. And then I know that once again, Shimano is going to be filling them up for free too. So that adds a huge value. I don't know if they're going to be having the Depth Hunter offshore as part of their. I just turned on, but oh yeah, but they are going to be giving you free line with that, so it's going to be a great value. But I don't know if they have the meter line there at the show or not.
All right, DJB says, Sam, Phil, I'll see you guys at the PCS show. Wish Phil for a healthy future. That means a lot to me. Thank you so very much. Face Too Much. Which Speedmaster could I get away with on a rail rod rated 80 to 130, the 20 or 25? Look to use it for trolling and nighttime bluefin tuna.
So the only negative to that is, I believe, I'm eyeballing it here, is that those Speedmasters do not come with trolling lugs. So that's going to be the only hang up with using it for trolling. Definitely for nighttime jig fishing, no problem on that. You could use the 25 for sure, but once again, no trolling lugs for that guy there. You might look at maybe, I'm trying to think what else is kind of in that price range. It really isn't. I mean, but I think that the fathoms, the larger fathoms like the 60 and the 80 are offered with the trolling lugs. So you might look at that if you want to double duty it for that.
Man, we haven't been under 100 people watching this show all show long. Good job, Sam.
All right.
I'm so proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about giving you a hug. Is that okay?
Don't. Yeah, it's all right. No. Yeah.
But I mean,
just keep thinking about it.
No, but
Yeah.
Can I do it?
I'll let you know.
You sure?
Well, no. Yeah, the answer is no.
All right. Face Too Much.
I don't want whatever you got, man. I gotta show.
I don't know if I told you, but ever since they jammed that camera down my throat, I've been coughing.
I know you told me that.
Yeah.
That's your excuse. I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you ride with that one.
All right. Face Too Much. We already did that. Steve Bermuda. Sam, do your rod builders build any freshwater rods like a multi-piece backpacker's trout rod?
Yeah, we've done a couple like that, not too many. There's not a whole lot of blanks available like that out there. But yeah, that wouldn't be no problem. I think we actually rebuilt a couple rods for one guy that he, I think got from his dad or something like that. And we stripped them down and rebuilt them. So yeah, we can do that, no problem. Getting a blank like that, I don't think is as common though. So if you find something that we can order, we can definitely order that up for you. I think that Batson has a couple multi-piece rods, but I don't know about like a 4 or 5 piece backpack rod or something like that, but come on down and I'm sure we can check something out. In fact, if you go to the show, you'll be able to check out both of those guys, both Batson and American Tqckle, and kind of pick their brain to see what they have in their catalog for something that we can build for you.
Fantastic. Chris, why don't you grab that meat? Come over. You can stand here and show everybody the meat. Hurry, Chris. Now, come on. And let's see, Face Too Much. Will the 20-pound hold enough 100-pound braid for nighttime? Sorry, last question. Don't worry about it, man. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, it should. We'll have to see what kind of fish this year brings. I mean, I know the trend the last couple of years has been that we haven't been getting as many big fish, but they're still out there. So you get to where like 5 years ago we were catching, I mean, it seemed like we were catching 150 pounders like every night. The boats were getting them full speed to 250 pounds. In that case, I would definitely say you want the bigger reel. As of late, it seems like the 20 would be just fine. If it was me, I'd get the 25 just because you never know. So that's kind of my opinion on that. But based on what we have been getting the last couple of years, I think that 95% of the time you're going to be more than plenty on that 20.
Alex Ortega says, thanks, fellas. We appreciate the knowledge you guys are providing us. Alex, thank you for joining us, really, right?
Yeah.
We appreciate that very much. All right, Chris is going to show you. We have more questions. Chris is buying some time because he's rushing over there.
Chauncey.
Yeah, Chauncey, William Chauncey. What's Sam and the crew have been in a while looking good? Almost time to fish again.
So what's up, Sam? Yeah, it's almost time, William.
Sorry, William.
Come on down, man. Get your reels ready and get your trips ready, man.
Camargo. Hey, Phil, what's the best organizer charter to fish out of near Cabo? Oh, organization. Probably Pisces Fleet. However, Sean Morgan runs a yacht down there, the Wild and Sack, and I can get you his phone number if you're interested. It's a little pricey. It's a really bitchin' yacht, and they do the whole thing with the great food and the whole thing. But if not, Pisces Fleet has a variety of different boats. Tracy Ehrenberg, I don't know how much she is involved there anymore, but she used to be there. She's a great person, and they look out to make sure you have a great experience, and they have pongas, and they have huge six-packs and everything in between. So good stuff down there. So if you need any more help, 657-227-6459. Just send me a text. I'd be happy to help you. I'll give you that one more time in case you need to write it down. 657-227-6459. All right, Sam, I'm going to run around. Oh, hold on. Dale says, great show. Glad you're feeling better. You and Sam make a great team. Gosh darn it, Sam. Give me a hug. Oh, you fell for it. Thank you, Dale. I appreciate it. And Chris, you want me to show it or do you want to be on camera?
No, I'm good.
This is the kind of people we have here to provide us. Can you see it, Sam, on your?
I'm a little behind.
Yeah, I'm too. Oh, here we go.
I will say
yeah,
this.
Chris. You got it, Chris?
You know, I really feel bad.
About what?
The fact that you're not going to have any of this.
I'm having some. that did it right there. Dale, thank you.
Smell that?
Love you. You're the best. Oh, look at that. All right, I'm going to run out here. You're going to tell everybody about the PCS show and Island Fishing Tqckle.
So you guys come on down this week, PCS show at the Costa Mesa, Orange County Fairgrounds. It's going to be Thursday through Sunday, 12 to 7, I believe, Thursday and Friday, 10 to 7 Saturday, and I believe 10 to 5 on Sunday. So come on down. We'll be down there making some great deals. Come on down and get that free line. Also, too, a couple little things. I want to congratulate Diego for
absolutely.
Winning his science fair. He put together a cool project, the STEAM program there at his district there. He kind of won the best of his grade, so that was awesome. Also, first day of practice here today, too. So we had a good practice day. And congratulate also my parents. We just had this past Saturday their 50th anniversary.
Wow.
So I know they're not watching right now, but for all you guys out there, thanks and congratulations to them.
Happy anniversary. That's fantastic. Sam, you got one more comment there, I think, about Castro's
So
camp?
if you have any news on Castro's camp, fish count news, any news on there in the Castro's camp?
Do I have any news? No.
Yeah, no. I know that they've been doing pretty good fishing down there in general. I mean, they're generally more of a rockfish kind of place.
Yeah.
I know in the springtime and the summertime they do get into some of that sea bass and yellowtail, but I know down past that, all those areas have been really well in on the yellowtail. So those guys are probably catching yellowtail too. It seems like it's all around down there.
Sam, great show. Thank you so much. Have a great time and great success at the PCS show. Do a great job there. And thanks, everybody, for watching Tackle Shop Confessions.
Time for tri-tip.
Tri-tip time. Woo! Thanks, Sam.
All right, man.
Take care, everybody. Really appreciate it. Hit that like button, and we'll see you next week for another great show.